Welcome everyone to WTW World Titan Wrestling, where we have the pleasure to talk to the managers of the said Titans. We obviously couldn't put them in the building because they're Titans, they're gargantuan. But today we have the King of Monsters himself, manager Godzilla, Bryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that my boy Godzilla is ready for a goddamn fight tomorrow, you best believe he's gonna bring a fight. A fight to make sure that he retains and holds that title. Because there ain't gonna be a challenging fight over here. There's gonna be a guaranteed win for Godzilla. The one true king. The guy that defeated all Titans on Earth, and not only the Titans on Earth, but the Titans on space. Ghidorah, does that name sound familiar to you? You best believe that tomorrow a fight will not be it, but a guaranteed win for Godzilla.
We have the Star Kings manager, the King, the Alpha of the Hollow Earth, Nick Valero.
Alpha the Omega, the greatest there have ever been, Star King. He's gonna scrape up. He's gonna make you the worst thing that has ever happened to Tokyo. What's up to you?
That's fine.
Bryan, never. Gotta take his breath.
Where's Godzilla? And that name, you goddamn name. You better take the goddamn step. My boy ain't gonna be challenged by the Star King. My boy will be leaving more scars on his body than he can possibly remember. My boy will retain the title tomorrow. And you best believe that not only will he be embarrassing Star King himself, but you in front of the entire town. The millions of people watching.
So embarrassing. Not only am I raising your best friend's child, King Kong, but in a slightly mixture of Star King is nothing less. You will be just the appetizer for his name. The Star King was the Alpha below, and now will be the Alpha above.
Let's hope it's a clean match, Sheriff. With that being said, we did take an online poll to judge who would win the fight. The fans decide.
I know what they voted.
Alright, we're going to get the results of that now.
What kind of manager are you that you can't even read the goddamn calendar?
On the ground, the top, alright? You don't know what numbers are!
The alarm is going off. The lights are going out. Okay, we gotta cut this promo. Is he gonna go to my shelter? You guys, shelter? Why is he going to a shelter?
I'm following him!
Wait. No! God damn it! Oh, no! No! You ran out of room! No, we didn't! Stop it!
Who's crying? Is that you?
I need the light. Where's the light?
Hey, when you choke me, you gotta do it hard. What?
What are you doing?
I don't wanna die, okay?
recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, coming to you from Undercity Comics. This is issue 191. My name is Nick. 192. My name is Nick Valero.
Rene.
It's Bryan.
And welcome to the show.
You know what?
We tried to do it without the paper.
It's okay. B+.
How did I mess up?
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 192.
I like my way.
Okay.
I like what I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Keeping Up with the Nerds issue 192. If you guys are on the socials, check out our Instagram, Facebook, and x.com. Check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. If you guys are on YouTube, it's the only place to find out our skits. Not find out our skits. Find our skits.
Just find them out.
Find them out, search them out, sniff them out.
Once you find them, you're like, oh, all right, cool.
Just sniff them out.
Like, you don't even watch them. You just go, oh, that's fine. All right, cool. They're there.
Check out our YouTube at Keeping Up with the Nerds. And if you guys are on the go, please go check out our audio platforms at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nick, Renee, how have you guys been?
Good.
Not bad.
Not bad?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got a story?
Yeah. So, okay. So remember last week when we went to go watch Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I went to go watch right before we went. So I'm driving to the movie theater and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go straight to the movie theater.
Yeah.
I went straight to the movie theater. I didn't tell you the whole story.
Oh, you didn't tell me
because there was more after that happened when
I
I got
just told
home.
you the prologue.
Okay.
When I got back to Monica's, more got added. So I was in a hurry and then I was driving over and I realized I need to go to the restroom, like really bad. So then I'm driving and I'm passing by Monica's and then I'm going, I need to use the restroom. So I don't even think I'm going to use the movie theater. I go, I'm right by Monica's. Let me just go to Monica's house and I'll, relieve myself there.
Yeah.
And so I go to Monica's and then I'm in the restroom and I'm like, okay, I got some time. So I call Monica while I'm in the toilet. And then I'm like, hey, just letting you know I'm at your house.
I'm at your house.
Hold up. Wait. Okay, so you have access to her home
Yes.
Yes.
while she's not there. Okay.
I have a key.
Okay. I was like, how did you get in there with her not being in there?
I have a key.
Broke the window.
You snuck
I just
through.
threw a rock through the window and I was like, I gotta go.
Babe, this is an emergency.
Yeah, there was a guy that just threw a rock at my neighbor's window and yelled out, "I gotta go."
No, so I'm finishing up and then I call Monica and I'm like, hey, just letting you know I'm in your house.
Yeah.
And then she goes, why? She goes,
inside the
what happened?
house.
She's like, why are you at my apartment?
Yeah.
She goes, are you waiting for me? And I'm like,
I'm
No.
definitely waiting on something to happen.
and I was like, no, I was driving to the movies and I had to go poo and I wasn't gonna make it. So I went to your house. She started dying laughing.
Yeah.
And then she goes, and mind you, I had like 30 minutes
Yeah.
before I actually needed to be there at the movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. And she goes, why don't you just go through my fridge and see what's there? And I'm like, all right, cool. Mind you, I'm in her apartment. I only have one light on, really. So I go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make some ramen. I'm gonna make some of your ramen and the dumplings. She goes, okay, cool. Make the ramen and the dumplings. I'm making the ramen and the dumplings and I'm trying to do a hard-boiled egg and I'm trying to do the ramen, put garlic, everything else. I put the dumplings inside of a pan with the sesame seed oil and to make them a little spicier. And I'm like, all right, cool. Because it's so dark, I can't see the dumplings. So the dumplings start burning. The sesame seed oil starts burning.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God.
That's gonna linger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I know where this story is gonna end.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So, and then I got the pan, and so I got the pan and I put it over. Mind you, Monica had just done dishes in the sink. So I took the pan over and I put it on top. I put it in the empty side of the dishes. Mind you, I only had one light on, so I could not see what I was doing.
At no point did you want to turn on another light.
I didn't think I should. I was in a
He
hurry.
was so confident.
I was like, I got this.
Yeah.
So I went into the freezer to get the dumplings. Then I put the dumplings back. And then I closed the freezer. So I then do whatever I was going to do. I'm eating. And then I ate really quickly. And then I left to go meet up with you guys.
Uh-huh.
Then comes in Monica's side. Monica then comes home about 2 hours later, or an hour later while we're in the movie.
Smells like
we're
restroom
watching-
and smells
we're
like
watching-
sesame
yeah.
oil.
And we're in the middle of
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
God. Yeah.
And Monica walks into her house. And she's just like, why does it smell like something burning in my apartment?
Why is it so it's burning and someone just took a fat crack.
And then she comes in, and then she's like, so 2 things. 1, why am I out of toilet paper?
What'd you do? Just like wrap your hand? And just...
She only had 1 roll left, and she was already almost out. And I was like, and it was one of those. You know, you gotta.
So you didn't bother to text her, be like, "Hey, babe, you're out of toilet paper."
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then
You're in a hurry.
Bones.
So you got 2 strikes on you.
I've already
Yeah.
got 2 strikes.
You got
So hold on. So mind you, she walks in, she's like, why does it smell like something's on fire?
Yeah.
So then she went to the sink and she sees that I put the pan and I put water on it so that way it could soak. But I guess I wasn't paying attention and the oil from the dumplings spilled all over her clean dishes. So she has that burned oil all over her clean dishes. And then I put it in the sink. And then she's just like,
Strikes
and then
me.
like she's already looking and she's
Yeah.
like, she's fuming at this point. And then she looks up at her fridge. The freezer door is open.
Oh my god!
my God.
God.
Because apparently when I went to go close it,
Yeah.
she had like one of those little like rice. She had like, cause she has this like instant rice
Yeah.
that you just put it in the microwave and then it like
Oh, okay.
automatically
Yeah,
makes.
yeah.
So one of those must have fallen. And when I was in a hurry, it popped back open and I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Because I could have swore I closed it. So anyway, so she's like, Nick! And then she just got the freezer door and she slammed. She was so pissed. She was so upset.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm oblivious. I have no idea that this has happened.
Yeah.
We come back here.
Yeah, we're recording.
We're
yeah.
recording. We do the
We
skit.
get-
We do whatever we're
yeah.
going to do.
We get done in like what? Midnight?
Maybe midnight, maybe 1.
Yeah.
This happened probably around 7 or 8.
So you're already at the theater.
So we're already at the theater. We're
walking in,
yeah.
So the whole time she's just stewing in her
she's
anger.
so she's stewing in her anger.
Yeah.
And then I guess at some point she got over it.
Oh yeah.
Like after like 6 hours,
But then
she
what
got
did you
over
do?
it.
What did you do?
So
What
like,
did you do? It's just-
Wait, you
Yeah,
did
no.
something? Yeah.
It's like you don't know Nick's stories.
Yeah.
Nick doesn't have a plot. He's the what's his name from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? He's a David Fincher of
Oh,
storytelling.
yeah.
so then mind you, I've driven you home.
Yeah.
I'm getting to her place maybe around like 2.
Okay.
So I'm getting to her place at 2. She's awake. She is wide awake.
Oh yeah, she's
She's
not
in her
And
asleep.
chair.
Yeah.
she's just
Turns the
sitting.
one light
she's,
back on.
she's sitting in her on the couch, and then she then like goes like, "Hi, how was your day?"
Oh my god, that's scary.
And I'm like-
Shotgun in hand.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, "It was good."
Yeah.
And she goes,
You don't know what you just walked into.
and then she started telling me about it, and she goes, "You have no idea. 2 hours ago, I think I would have murdered you." And she goes,
Ghostbusters
"Good
saved your
thing,
life, yeah.
good thing you were gone
Yeah.
because I was able to get over it." And then she
Technically.
still tells me what's going on. And then as she's telling me, I'm just like smiling. And she's like, "Stop smiling at me. Stop it." And then I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because I'm going to forgive you. And you just stop. Like, I want to be mad." And I'm like,
She has every right to be mad.
yeah, she has every right to
Yeah.
be mad. She had every right to be mad.
Yeah,
But
the freezer itself is more than enough reason to murder.
she
you.
was laughing.
true.
So she started laughing because the ice creams I like melted.
Oh.
So she was like, "Good," and then she slammed the door. She was like, "Oh, good, his ice cream's melted, jackass." And like slammed
Yeah,
it.
jackass. Happy Gilmore.
So Ghostbusters didn't save him. We saved him.
Oh my god.
Because the movie started at 7:45. We would have been out by 10 o'clock.
She was probably home by like 8
So
or 9.
if it took her 2 hours to
9.
stop getting angry, you still needed that safety buffer.
she needed that like.
Yeah.
You still need
So-
that buffer because that's not how women anger works. If they tell you that they're fine after 2 hours,
Yeah.
you add an hour extra.
She got she wasn't mad by the time I got there. She kind of laughed it off because then I started making jokes about it
Yeah.
and everything like that. And I was like, "Well, I learned my lesson."
I think the whole me and Manny's relationship, we've only gotten into like 3 arguments.
Well,
But not even like arguments that were relationship ending. It was more of like we kept going in circles.
this wasn't an argument
Yeah,
though. It
no,
was
no.
more.
But it
she
could
was-
have been.
Maybe. It was more her frustrated with something I had done
Yeah.
to the point of when I called her yesterday. Mind you, this was last week.
Uh-huh.
I go, "Oh, I forgot to clean the dishes that were in the sink when I was there." And she
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, I know. They're still there." I'm waiting for you to come home so that way you can wash the dishes because I'm not doing it. I already washed them.
Yeah.
You made them dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's fair.
Yeah,
and so that's
No one else is laughing but you.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
straight
the
out of
only-
nerves.
No, because we understand Monica's logic. That's
Yeah,
why.
exactly.
just
It's like you're trying to justify how
you're
all of
cleaning
this-
those dishes.
Yeah.
Dick.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick. Oh, you.
no. In 100%.
I'm in the side of Monica.
You
It's
rascal.
like-
In 100%. She has every right. She's 100% right.
Yeah,
No, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
She's 100% right. I just thought it was funny that I got.
It's funny that
I just got away with it.
you did. That's the thing.
And mostly,
you dodged a bullet there.
yeah, and most of it was just me smiling at her,
I know.
like me just going. And then she was like, "Stop it! No, stop being cute! No, stop it!" And then I was like, and then I started like making jokes about it, and I was like, "Oh darn me!"
Oh,
and she was like, "Don't." She goes, "Don't try to make this funny. You're in trouble." And I was like, "I'm like, yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad." And so, yeah. All right. I was like, I don't.
sorry. Oh god. Yeah, no, it works though. That's the thing.
I know.
I do the same thing with Maddie, but I just say like stupid jokes or sexually innuendo jokes, and she's like, "Stop that!" I'm like, "It's funny though." Hey, like,
Do you
am
think-
I lying?
What do you think? If you would have done the same thing to Mandy, do you think? Did you think she would have murdered you?
I think her mom would have been more mad at me if that all happened.
Oh, okay.
If that, yeah, because her mom is very particular how things should go in the kitchen, especially in the kitchen and stuff like that. So if I did leave the freezer door open, I think that would be she would most likely yell at Mandy than yelling at me first. And then Mandy would tell me, be like, "Why'd you didn't close the freezer door?" I'm like, "I forgot." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Like,
So I had a bet with Monica, and I said that is more likely to happen to Andy than it would have happened to you, than you
Oh, yeah.
doing it to you.
Yeah.
That it would have been
I
reversed.
told
on
you guys that Joey peed all over some vinyls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
but I don't think I mentioned it on the show.
But in general, like that kind of situation,
the listeners
Would
are
have
like,
been-
"Kill that dog!" It just heard like peed on all my vitals. Kill him! Get rid of him!
did he also mention that there were collector's editions?
Oh, yeah, no. So
They were
here's the thing. So
collector
Andy
vinyls?
only collects Taylor Swift vinyls, right?
Oh, so you could just burn those.
So somehow, some
Those
way,
are worth to be peed
so,
on.
yeah, so somehow, some way,
Yeah.
this dog missed every Taylor Swift album, but hit every other album in
Swiftie.
between.
He's a
Dude,
Swiftie,
I don't
yeah.
know what he. I don't
Joey's
know,
a Swiftie, yeah.
probably,
That's the
dude.
case.
He hit my $100 Gorillaz vinyl.
That's Beyonce. What are you doing?
Why'd you copy me?
Because
If you knew it was Beyonce, if you knew it was Beyonce, why'd you
I
copy
didn't
me?
notice it until you were going. I'm like, wait, that's not right.
You know that Evangelion vinyl I brought?
Yeah.
He peed on
Follower?
that one. That one's done. That
Wait,
one.
the Evangelion one?
That cover's destroyed. My
Wow.
Battle Network 3 cover got destroyed. He pissed all over the Gorillaz vinyl.
That pee is like a sick. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
How old is he?
he's 10.
Old
He's got
enough.
10
Oh,
more
okay.
years.
You got a couple more years.
We got a couple more years. I'm telling you, that
10?
dog will outlive me.
10 more years?
10 more years.
Mhm.
But knowing him, he'll live to 25.
Why so long? I thought dogs only lasted until like
Small
20s.
dogs last longer.
Yeah,
Do they?
unfortunately.
But he's also part rat, so you'll probably live another like 15, 20 years.
Oh my god, Manny did the worst thing as soon as we got Cece. That's our dog. That's my dog, guys. They're just like, what are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? Why do you say Cece? Because she looked up as soon as she got Cece, she looked up the lifespan of a chow. She started crying. I'm like, why? Wait, how long do they live? They only live to like 9. And I'm like, well, we still got 8 years. And so, but Cece is now, I think she's 4 or 5, and I go, man, she's reached half of her life right now.
See, I don't see life
Good
like
for her.
that for
Yeah.
dogs.
Mhm.
Where like I don't like I look at a dog and I'm like, oh, I got like 3 more years left. I got like 2 more years left with them. I was just kind of like enjoying my time with dogs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And so
And then,
like-
and then before you get there, you old yeller. You're just like,
nah.
only
no.
I can take you out of this world.
No. So like Joey the thing I hate so much about what like Andy and my sister-in-law do is that they started saying that he's in his like elder years.
What does that mean?
It means that he's growing old because he's farting and like you can see the gray in his eyes. And I'm like, why do you have to call it out? Just enjoy the time you have with your dog. Like the idea that you know that your
He's
dog's is gonna pass away soon is like messed up. I've already lost 3 dogs.
Well, it is, but that's the thing. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but at the same time, I told Maddie because she was like she wanted to get a dog, and I go, listen, I know you want a dog, and I know how you are about death and everything. I just want you to know that the moment you get a dog, you're also gonna live. You're gonna outlive that dog as well too. So you're gonna see the dog as a baby, but then you're also gonna see that dog die.
Exactly.
Hey, you never
So be
know
prepared
that.
for that.
Hey, you never know. People get hit by buses every day.
That's true.
Or their dogs will probably
But I'm not
pee.
that lucky. So
What if CC's driving the bus?
that'd be funnier.
She has the hat.
Doesn't Cece love you?
No, she does. She hates. She
Joey-
she does not hate, but she doesn't listen to Mandy. Like,
Dude.
and like whenever we
Are
lay
you
on
the
the bed,
alpha? You're the alpha in the
I guess so, because Cece, like whenever Cece lays on the bed, she leans on me, but she faces out. Like her butt's towards me, but her face is towards the door when we're laying down. And apparently that's a sign of like they're protecting you and stuff like that.
And then she farts.
She's female, right?
She's a female.
Yeah, so they're more protective.
Mhm.
They are.
So nice.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? Nice. Yeah, sure.
Oh, I was gonna say, is she fixed?
Yeah, she's fixed. Yeah.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't stop them.
I don't know. Maybe she got like the hots for Rene. You know,
Oh,
That could be it too.
she's like he got cute. He got curly hair. I like
Yeah.
that.
Like them short.
Does she like
curlies.
Mandy?
She does love Mandy, but she's more loyal to me.
So
apparently.
female
She would
dogs tend to
betray.
be.
So she would betray. She would
She
betray.
would, she would,
Mandy.
yeah. Honestly,
Female
like
dogs are more loyal to male
Yeah.
owners.
yeah,
Are they really?
Yeah.
they are.
'Cause,
But Mandy doesn't want a male dog. That's the thing, is that she doesn't want to deal with their penis and stuff like that when they get horny. Apparently,
Oh.
yeah.
She
She
shot
said,
their nuts.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't do that. I can't fix. Joey's not fixed.
He's
That,
not fixed.
that
No.
explains a lot.
One, his
That really does explain a lot.
his balls.
Stuff.
They're in
His junk.
his junk. They're really in there. They would have
Uh-huh.
charged us double to get him fixed.
What?
Are they like inverted or something?
They're like, so here's the
We're
the
talking
shaft.
about his
Here's
dog's
the
junk.
shaft,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
And the balls should be here,
Yeah.
but they're like right here.
What the heck?
They're like,
So
so
they're
very,
sitting on top
yeah,
the shaft.
they're difficult to get
Yeah,
to.
I'm
so-
saying that because of our audio listeners. They're like, wait, what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
The shaft.
complicated.
Yeah, they're sitting on top of the shaft, not below the shaft.
So the thing with it,
Dude, I got
is-
clippers. Let's do it.
no. The other thing
Give me
was
20 minutes.
My first
just
dog,
give me a cigar cutter. Like,
a little soft.
Laham.
The steak scissors.
Yeah, man. Laham.
No,
Ricky Stinley.
so
Ricky Snicky. Yeah.
my first dog was a German Shepherd that we
Yeah.
adopted at 1 year old.
Yeah.
He was fixed, and they
Mhm.
didn't do it right. So when he was like 7, 8 years old, it started to get infected, and like to this day, I get super scarred by it. So I would take him only. Now it's too late, but I would, if I were to fix a dog, I'd take him to like a professional and be like, if you mess this up, I'm gonna sue your ass.
It's weird because there's like this weird like time to get like them fixed, and if you miss it, then
That's it.
there's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you do it too young, they stay young. Like they don't grow into like a mature dog, so they
Yeah.
always stay that young.
I think for Cece, we had to wait until she was like at least
A year.
no. We asked the vet. They go, no, you could do it within the year, but you got to wait until like after 6 or 7 months. At that point, she's been grown up and stuff like that. Miko still has her time. Her window's closing very soon, so we got to get her fixed.
Oh, that's right. You guys have a new dog.
Yeah, we have another one, Miko. It's the same family, so they're technically sisters.
Miko referencing the
The
raccoon.
raccoon from Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really weird when they start, getting on top of each other.
Oh, Miko's already tried to hump Cece.
I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs do that all the
But
time.
but it's funny because they always lay together and stuff now.
Uh-huh.
And whenever we walk in the room, Cece gets up and she's like, "No, I'm not laying down next to this dog."
Ooh,
Like,
it was-
yeah. We're like, "Oh, look at you,
disgusting.
little kid!" Yeah, and like she's like, "Look at you, little big kid." She's like, "No, I'm not." And just walks away.
I remember. What was it? My cousin had a dog.
Yeah.
She got pregnant from another dog that was in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
She had the pups.
Yeah.
They kept one male pup. And they kept it in the house. And then she became a house dog. So she never left the house again.
Yeah.
Then she got pregnant again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like,
Wait, the math is not mathing.
I'm like, you're sure she doesn't leave the house? And then they were like, dude, she's never left the house. We don't know how she got pregnant. And I'm like,
Well, I
and
certainly
then I
think
look
she's
over
not
at,
the
I look
Virgin
over
Mary.
at, yeah, no. Then I look over at her son, and I'm going, I know what you did.
Yeah, right.
What's that? The manatee or whatever?
Yeah.
The stingray that got self-impregnated?
Yeah.
Did we ever find out if it
What?
gave birth? The what is it called? The stingray.
There's a stingray that
Self-impregnated itself.
could.
Good.
Didn't need no partner. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, frogs can do that too.
Oh yeah, they can.
Foxes?
No,
Frogs.
frogs.
Oh, frogs. Yeah, that's fine. I thought you said foxes. I'm like, that's a whole other story.
Foxes, they can do that too. That'd be
Well,
cool.
what does
No.
the fox say?
We don't know to this day, dude. Well, we're already 20 minutes into the show.
You're welcome.
Hey,
We should be
Talked
going
about
into comic
puppies.
strips. Yeah, puppies, Nick's mess ups, and how he gets away with it.
Brian's
great.
dog's junk.
Yeah,
Isn't that great
pissed all over
conversation,
my mouth.
guys? Only here at Keep It Up with the Nerds.
You
You'll
know
get
what? Shout out to
conversations.
Junior for calling you out, or for calling you and
Oh,
like
yeah.
dying of laughter.
I know, yeah.
How many times has he paused the show so far?
Like,
I think
yeah.
Junior's paused the show at least once so far.
Oh yeah,
Monica
Yeah.
said the show last week was good. She left.
really?
Yeah,
She
Like,
finished it.
I
How did your wife like it?
she doesn't listen to it anymore.
Mandy only watches the skits, and she
Yeah.
watches like the
There you
first
go.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time until Monica stops listening.
No, she has to. She doesn't have anything else to listen to.
She's
We're
like
her
listening
last
to this, she's
option.
all like, "F you."
You know what? I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Never again.
Right? She's
No.
at work and just like already looking for another podcast.
No, she started. She was doing okay because I was telling her like, oh, you should do like those serial killer podcasts,
Yeah.
and everything else.
The
And she
cliche.
apparently they give her too much anxiety.
Really?
Oh, you know who she?
give-
there's a
they-
podcast
they
I
give her
listen
too
to
much
called
anxiety.
Lore. It's
Oh.
produced by this writer called Aaron Mankey. He used to produce The Walking Dead, the
Oh,
first two
yeah.
seasons, and he goes on about like just folklore and kind of like old
Stuff like that still gives her anxiety. I
Really?
don't know what it is. Yeah.
I listen to if it's not us, I listen to either How Did This Get Made
Yeah.
or the No Sleep podcast, which is
Okay.
a bunch of scary stories.
I listen to Doug Loves Movies.
Oh, is it good?
I
funny?
do. It's hilarious.
Okay.
But it also depends on who's on.
Yeah, I'll listen to sometimes the Bad Friends podcast.
That's
once
that
in a
was not
while.
bad.
It depends on who's on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Doug Loves Movies is really fun, especially if you're a movie nerd. Like if you're a movie nerd, it's
Yeah.
hilarious because the entire time it's all about he's just doing like trivia questions.
Yeah.
And then if he has like a really big star,
Mm-hmm.
then he'll just do their movies.
Okay.
Okay, not
Like,
bad.
but the one that was really funny, it's still one of my favorites, is he had James Gunn and Michael Rooker. And so he just kept on doing questions of Michael Rooker movies.
Not James Gunn.
No, not James Gunn. And Michael Rooker was losing.
What do you mean he was losing?
Like he didn't know what his movies were.
Oh
But
yeah,
James Gunn knew?
yeah, but I believe that.
James Gunn knew every single movie Michael Rooker was in.
Yeah.
And he knew like the day,
Yeah.
he knew the year it came out, he knew like who starred in it
Yep.
and everything else. And then they were going, all right, Michael, you got paid for this.
You should
Well,
know.
he's been acting for a while.
Yeah, and then
That's
he goes
why.
like, what movie did you do X, Y, and Z? And he was like,
"Which movie did you do that you
So-
portrayed a serial killer?"
yeah, and he was like, I did a movie like that?
Yeah.
And then like he's thinking about it, and then
What's the Kevin Smith movie that you did?
yeah, then James Gunn's even like, you don't know what movie that is?
Yeah.
And he's it's so good. It's Doug Loves Movies with Sean Gunn, James Gunn, and Michael Rooker.
I'll check it out.
It's a good
I'll
episode.
put it on my Spotify right now.
All right, so
It's
we
a
got to
really
move
fun
on
episode.
because this show is going to be a little bit heavy. We've got comic strips, and then we went to go see Godzilla.
I was gonna say like
Cross.
Titan Heavy.
Titan Heavy. There you go. That should have been a better way.
I
of
thought you
putting
were gonna. I thought you were gonna say Baltimore.
it. It is a Titan-sized. What? What?
That bridge heavy?
Stop.
That bridge is already.
We
been
got a
crossed.
Titan-sized podcast for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about comic strips. We went to go watch Godzilla Cross Kong New Empire. So we'll be reviewing that and letting you guys know if it is a worthy movie to go watch. A couple of announcements as well. So the Santa Fe Springs Art Festival is happening April 25th and 26th. Keep your eyes open because, one, we have our guests locked in for the festival. So we will be announcing who will be at our side of the festival within the coming weeks. If you guys have not yet followed us on Instagram or X or Facebook, do so because that is where the announcements are going to be. Also, follow the Articon Instagram. We'll go ahead and link it as soon as we start posting advertisements on our Instagram. Follow them as well as SFS Film, which is the film festival, because they will be making announcements as well as to what to expect at the festival. There's going to be a ton of stuff to go see. It's going to be 2 days. The first day on the 25th is a preview night. The 26th will be a full-on event. So we will let you guys know. Again, keep track on Instagram and our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com.
Did you get that?
Threaten them. Don't be good. They probably didn't do it.
No,
That guy right there probably did not.
He
go on
didn't
a-
do it.
Kill him.
I will.
All right.
Don't talk to Junior like that.
It's probably accurate viewer right now. Like,
Should talk to Lewis like that either. Should talk to Lewis.
Oh my gosh. Does he still listen in the shower?
Uh,
Or now he listens to us in the toilet?
no, he said he listens to us when he's feeding his kid.
Oh, so his kid listens to us
So it's
too.
funny. It's super funny because I've noticed I've gone over with Liam and I start talking and I notice Liam does like a
like
a look. And he'll be
Wait,
like,
how old is Liam?
Liam he's turning 2.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So he
He's gonna be
recognized voices.
he's gonna be turning 2.
That's
but
cool.
but last time I thought it was funny because apparently like Lewis was listening to it when he was like rocking him to sleep.
Uh-huh.
So last time I
put him to sleep.
So last time I went over, I noticed that when he was in my arms, as I was talking, he was knocking out. And I was like, that's super funny. So I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, he goes to sleep whenever I'm talking. And he goes like, oh yeah, because I'm listening to it when I'm trying to rock him to bed. Because I'm so I think he's just gotten used to hearing your voice.
Well, thank you guys for listening, continuing to listen, and thank you guys for the support, everyone who constantly communicate with us.
Yes.
We couldn't be doing the things that we're doing now, and year 4 is just around the corner. We have 8 issues left before we kick off the new year. So expect some... What?
I didn't realize it was only 8.
Can I get a pen?
Yeah.
I was like, why did you mess that up? You're so perfect, dude.
Almost.
I forgot.
We don't have a pen. Sorry. I guess it's just. I think it's just gotta stay in there.
It's gonna be lost in the mix.
It's there.
It's lost in the ether.
Yeah, we don't know where.
I got it.
Probably do like around
2708.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
That was a genuine one too on
Yeah.
Nick's side because he's like, oh crap, I didn't realize we're so close to year 4 already. No, but let's go ahead and kick off this issue with comic strips, a portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. Are we ready?
Now take it off, Rene.
What the heck? Stop. Let's go ahead and start with this. Spider-Man, The Spider Within, released this past week and tells a short story about Miles Morales' mental toll as Spider-Man. The short can be seen on Sony's official YouTube channel as of now.
I liked how that was basically like, hey, we're not gonna release the movie. Here's a short film.
Here's a little short thing,
Yeah.
because good thing you mentioned that,
Yeah.
because as of March 29th, 2024, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse would have been released, but has been delayed indefinitely.
Of course.
So, yeah. You haven't checked out the short, huh?
I don't see no movie.
There's no movie, no book, no nothing, no comic?
No comic.
Hey,
Well, there's comics, but
Sucks to suck, right?
yeah.
Indefinitely. You don't know when's coming out. Doesn't matter, dude.
No.
You care about your feelings?
No.
Well, they kind of do, because this one was about.
Oh, it
mental-
was mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
good.
Yeah.
It was about the artist.
Do you know?
What do you think I'm lying?
No, they were probably like, we can't tell Sony directly how this
Yeah.
affects his
So
mental.
let's
we're
just
gonna make it
let's just make a
Yeah.
short about it, and then we'll go like, look, it's Miles Morales.
You're not wrong.
Not me at all.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
It's okay.
One more, and I believe you.
It's okay. It's okay. Moving on. Invincible season 2, part 2 continues with continues strong with multiple episodes receiving high remarks for its storytelling and continued character progression. A small nod to animators in their work is mentioned in one of the episodes where Steven meets
Yeah.
an animator at a convention who speaks to him about shortcut techniques in animation,
Yeah.
including off-screen conversations and over-the-shoulder shots to reduce animated scenes.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the part
It's
2
great.
yet,
It's clever.
but I saw that
Yeah.
I saw that bit. I'm like, that's pretty
Mhm.
cool because it's
It
one
was-
of the
it-
animators, right?
It's supposed to be Tim Robinson posing as one of the animators, but they draw him in his likeness, in the animator's likeness. It's just he didn't voice it,
Oh, I see.
but it was Tim Robinson, the guy from he has that one show on Netflix that he was on SNL, but now he has his own like sketch comedy show.
Okay.
It's the guy that did that meme like I didn't do jack crap. He's all
that
like
guy. Yeah. It's supposed to be him.
yeah, that he's doing the voice
I
of
see.
the animator.
That makes
But
sense.
yeah, but it's cool. It's really clever the way they do it, because he's like holding a comic book. He goes, yeah. So the way to make animation, run smoother is that you have to cover the mouth.
Oh,
so
I
that
didn't
way,
think about that.
yeah. It's like, oh, and then like shows Mark like, oh yeah, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, and then if you do a wide shot of people standing still, the viewers will think it's moving when really it's not. Nothing's really happening, but you assume that the scene's still progressing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
It's good. I
Yeah.
mean, I think IGN gave this last episode a 6, but I love how IGN reviews are
Terrible.
they're
inaccurate half the time.
I'm getting to the point where I'm like, why don't they just hire us? I mean, we
we
more
would give
honest
you,
with it.
we'd be more honest of what it is.
Because like their 6s are always like on the fence with certain things. It's like they're afraid to basically call out Invincible if it's a bad episode.
I think they're also afraid to like anything as well too. It's weird.
When was the last time they liked something?
I don't know. That's the thing. They haven't liked a lot
They didn't
of
like.
stuff.
They didn't like Frozen Empire.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they liked Kong, did they?
They said that it was more nostalgic
said
and
it was
it understood what like the direction that it was headed towards.
But they still gave it like a 7.
But they gave it a 6.
See, they don't go anything higher than an 8 or a 9.
Unless it's a masterpiece.
I guess so.
It's like,
Or
oh
it's
my god, it's
or
life changing.
Madam Web, I think they gave like a 2 or 3.
Oh, but
Well, that's more accurate.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
you can't give that more than a 1.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been like 6. didn't
7.
5 worth a watch.
didn't make sense. Incoherent story.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend.
It's to reviewers. I think it's to the point
A
where
C to believe.
I think it's getting to the point where the reviewers are becoming connoisseurs. Like they're like, oh yes, pinky up kind of thing. I'm a connoisseur of film.
Well, the writing in it was very.
You know what? I
needed to
also-
be more worked on.
Sometimes I feel like when in the IGN like writers room, they'll be like, who wants to like people get assigned a movie.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what the movie's about. Like
Well, the
they
last
they
guy-
either have no idea or they have no like backstory of like what's going
Right.
on.
They go like, "Hey, we're gonna put out Madam Web. Are you a fan of comic books? No. Okay, you're gonna watch it.
Or like, hey, did you watch all of last season of Invincible? No, I've never seen an episode. All right, cool. Watch season 2.
It could be that, but the last review I watched,
Do you
they
like
did-
Ghostbusters? Not really.
No.
Okay, you're gonna
Do
review it.
They did. They reviewed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
What do you get,
And the
9?
He got it. I think he gave it a 6 or 7. And they said that they understand it was an improvement on the last one because the appearances of the monsters are actually a lot better. But it was trying to be Terrifier 2
Oh.
in the sense of how it's trying to be gory and like spectacular
Over
with
the
kills.
top, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I get what you
Terrifier
mean,
2
but the
is-
reviewer constantly said for like a good minute, he was just like, I'm a big fan of Terrifier 2. I understand what Terrifier 2 was about. I understand what it could be, but it's not that because I
understood the
watched Terrifier
direction,
2 and I'm
right?
like, okay, we get it. You watched Terrifier 2.
I
You don't need to jerk
resonated
off
with
to that.
Terrifier 2.
I've always dreamed of doing that.
It's the Titanic of horror movies. Like,
Terrifier 2 is it's good.
it's
not-
good, but it's
I'm not
too
a fan
much.
of it. I can't
It's all right.
You,
I
just
mean,
you don't do well with gore.
I don't.
yeah.
I don't get
the first
gore.
one was pretty good. I like the first one, but the second one was basically like, okay, we're gonna make a coherent story now,
Yeah.
and
And everybody went lame.
yeah.
No,
Just show
people
me the
loved it.
blood.
Well, apparently the next one is gonna be a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
They're always Christmas movies.
well, the third one has to be. A Christmas
You hear that
movie.
Chucky's getting a new movie?
Is it also a Christmas movie?
No. It's because the new season of Chucky's the last one, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so.
It could be. It does feel like it's building up to that. Me and Mandy are watching it. We're waiting for the new season, part 2 of season 3 to come out.
I've
How
heard
is
it.
the-
You
how
keep
is
telling
that
me it's
show?
really good.
It's actually not bad. The way
Yeah.
so what I love about it is that it doesn't ignore anything that's happened in the prior movies. It takes all that stuff that's happened and then makes this whole little
What about-
canon world of it. and
What
stuff
about
like
Mark Hamill's Chucky? Did they even mention that?
that. No, because that was off of the creators didn't want to do that. The original creator, which is like Dave Minucci or something like that.
Yeah.
He didn't want any part of it. That's why they had to like redo it as it. That's why in that one, it's a buddy doll, not a good guy doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Because he was doing the show at the time. He wasn't. The show hasn't come out yet, but he was writing the show and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
he didn't want any.
He
part
had
of that
ideas of what he wanted to do.
with Chucky.
I get you. Set Photos reveals that Sonic 3 has officially wrapped filming and will release in December. Just a reminder, Knuckles TV series will release on April 26th of this year. Paramount's
Oh.
pushing that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for Knuckles. Knuckles looks fun.
It's Idris Elba. Like it baffles me that
And it
Idris
looks
Elba
so
is like
fun.
Knuckles. Yeah. It's just I don't know how that casting worked,
Mhm.
but it works.
Yeah.
I imagine they went like, we need a voice. We need somebody, because Idris Elba, if you've ever seen Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, or which
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What were you thinking of?
I was thinking of a joke, but I'll say it out.
but or any of his Guy Ritchie movies, like he knows how to do comedy really well.
He does, but like Idris Elba has this way, because like my favorite line off the trailers is like, "Are you gonna save him, Knuckles?" No, he must learn to save himself. It's like, it's a great thing, dude.
Yeah.
It works. What was your joke?
I was gonna say, Paramount right now, they're like, okay, Quiet on Set really effed us, guys. We got to push something else. What other properties do we have? And it's
Sonic?
like, Sonic. Okay, let's get this out here. Let's get it out here, guys.
There are no kids in Sonic. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no kids in Sonic at all.
But it's
Yeah.
a kid's property.
Yeah.
It's okay. Dan's not on set. It's fine.
Dan
Where's
far away.
Where's Dan at? And then they open it up and they're like, he's in his house. All right,
Okay.
cool. As long as he
Okay, we're
stays
good.
there.
Yeah, we're good. Let's continue.
It's the Dan locator.
They have like an ankle bracelet on him to make sure that where they're at. They fed him a tiny little like microchip.
See, I like to imagine that it's it's just the rooms inside of the boys, where like
What
they're
the
just
heck?
like they're like shoved in those like solitary confinement
Oh.
chambers, and they're just like, Dan, we need you for an interview,
Yeah.
moron. We'll massage you later. Now come out.
Oh, that reminds me, a 5th episode of Quiet on Set's coming out April 5th.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna dabble more into Drake Bell apparently.
You know what? Okay, now I think yes, it is really bad what happened at Nickelodeon.
Yes, but we get it. It's your popcorn flick.
No, not only
You
that.
look forward to it.
No, that's what you do.
That's not what I do.
That's what I was saying. Anyway,
What?
but no, I think that because they're doing this more of like a reality show.
Yeah.
now. It's not a documentary. It's not like the R. Kelly series or like even the Michael Jackson one or anything like that, where it was like, we're gonna release everything. This is what happened, and this is our thesis, and it's a full story.
Yeah.
Now it's, oh yeah, we have more to show you. Just wait until April.
That's what I was telling you on the
You
Messenger.
mentioned you messaged it too, and I was like that, and I go, no, you're right. Like it shouldn't be this thing of people of you going like, man, people are really interested in this. Just wait, because we've got more footage.
Is it informative or is it?
It's entertainment now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
basically.
shouldn't be entertainment. It should be informative, because this is the kind of stuff. What I'm loving so much about social media right now is that now that has been out in the open, more and more people are beginning to realize child actors in Hollywood had it really, really, really bad for decades.
I mean,
It depends on the set. Don't get me wrong.
but
Yeah.
Corey Feldman has been talking about it for years.
Yes.
That's the thing. He's been mentioning it for years, and no one took him seriously. No one batted an eye when he said it. That's the thing. I think what it was is that people were saying, "Oh, it's Michael Jackson, right?" He goes, "No, Michael Jackson never touched me. It was producers and executives."
Did you hear that he actually had Dan Peck in it?
Yeah.
He had Dan Peck in it. He got, because what was it? TMZ came out, got Corey Feldman when he was outside, and he goes like, "Hey man, like, what do you think of what happened with Drake Bell and everything else?" And he
Brian
goes,
Peck, yeah.
and Brian Peck, and he goes, Brian Peck was in our movie, the movie that I made about children being abused in Hollywood. He was in that movie.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of talks with other victims and everything else. This is a movie that has not been able to find a studio that's willing to publish it. It's a movie that's finished. They will not let me publish it. And you know what? Honestly, he goes, and it's a shame. It's a topic that nobody wants to talk about in Hollywood. And he even said too, he goes, I'm really glad that Quiet on Set was able to bring it out. But there's a lot more criminals that are
more
out
to it.
there.
What was that movie that came out like a year ago that had to do with Hollywood sex trafficking?
Hollywood sex trafficking?
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw one
I think
documentary.
it was during Barbie's time.
Yeah, it was, but then it got like really weird too, because it was all about like sex trafficking, and the producer of it was sex trafficking.
Yes.
Yes,
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. Because it's funny how that got like a really low release as well too.
It was
It
so
wasn't-
underground.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
And I think
wasn't
that's
getting
what
a
people
lot
were
of-
complaining.
It wasn't getting a lot of show.
Well, it was also very like alt-right too.
like freedom. Freedom something. I
It
think,
was like
that.
Freedom's Valley or something like that. I don't remember, but it was also it was very like Proud Boy as well.
Yeah.
Of like, this is what the liberals are doing to like these innocents and everything else. And it was like, I don't think it doesn't matter what like political forum you're in. Monsters are monsters.
Yeah.
I think I saw a documentary like years ago. This was like maybe like 5+ years ago, and it was about young child actors, inspiring actors in the early 2000s. Basically, producers. These specific producers were making a web series, and it had to do. They were trying to do like basically capitalize what like Zoom was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That show Zoom on PBS.
Oh yeah, I wanted to be a part of that.
They wanted to. They were doing that, but then at the same time, the child actors on the show talked about, oh yeah, and every time we got done filming, every day on the weekends, they invited us to these parties. We were all in the hot tub, and they all got us drunk, and they were having our way with us. They dropped so many names. They dropped like Bryan Singer
On Zoom?
No, this was the show, the
Okay.
internet. It was a front, honestly. It was just them a way to bring in kids, and they can have their way with them and stuff like that. But they dropped names like Bryan Singer, the director of the X-Men films. Kevin Spacey was dropped as well too. But the thing is that this documentary didn't get pushed out enough. You had to like search and find it to watch it and stuff like that. It was crazy.
That was interesting too, because they were saying like, oh yeah, like Bryan Singer was at some of Dan Peck's parties and everything else. So was Kevin Spacey. So it was like, and that's
it's
why
all the
they were
same
saying,
circle.
Yeah, they were saying it's the same circle. They just kept passing kids around.
Mm-hmm.
So what was interesting was when the Academy Museum opened up in Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Andy and I went, like I think it was like the first or second week it was open.
Oh, do they have a hall of sexual offenders?
No, they have it. Stop. No, they have it. They have an exhibit with Shirley Temple, like all of her works and stuff like that. And I
so
think,
hall of victims. Okay.
basically, yeah, because I think one of the people there was like, yeah, they kind of like dive a little bit into kind of like her, like the situation
What
she was
happened?
in.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and I think they even talk about it with the actress that played Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I saw that one too,
Yeah.
because they would give her uppers and downers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that was in
Apparently,
the Academy too.
Sally Field's a victim of that as well too. Apparently, I was like, wow, I did not know that about
There's
Sally Field.
there's a lot of actresses that come from like the 80s and the 70s to 80s.
Brooke Shields was one.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. They say that there was a lot of
Terrible.
this.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It was very common practice.
Yeah. Moral of the story, I feel like quite on set, to kind of wrap it up, I feel like if they needed the extra 2 weeks to wrap up this 5th episode and
Mhm.
edit it correctly,
Mhm.
I think that should be fine. Because I told you guys this.
Mhm.
My problem with it was I didn't understand what the thesis of the documentary was. And I think you guys kind of made it clear that Dan is the face of Nickelodeon from 1997 to
Yeah.
like the early
He is
2010s.
Nickelodeon.
Exactly. And I think that the thesis wasn't clearly stated,
No,
but it needed to be talked about.
I think what it was, like, they had a main thesis, and it was Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
But then when victims were coming up, and potential victims that wanted to talk out, it's sideways, and you have Drake Bell coming out. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a whole episode on its own.
Exactly.
Well-
So they couldn't figure out. They tried to stick with the thesis, and
Mhm.
then they realized that the thesis is a lot more than that, and
Yeah.
it went
Well,
separate ways.
that's also what happened with the R. Kelly one too.
Yeah.
Because the R. Kelly one came out with a season 2 right after it came, like maybe like a year later.
Yeah.
And I remember when the season 2 came out, I went, why would they, like, what else did they have to say? I mean, he's
Yeah.
in jail, everything else, and it was a follow up. So like those 6 or 7 episodes were,
Mhm.
this is where everybody is now. This is
Mhm.
where it, him going to jail has led. We have new survivors that have come
Yeah.
forward, and they want to tell their story and just kind of see, okay, well, what are our updates
Yeah.
on this? And I thought that was interesting. So I mean, I wouldn't mind if there was a season 5, if there was an episode 5, if Drake Bell, they talk about him more,
Mhm.
but if there's another survivor that was willing to
Mm-hmm.
come forward.
Yeah, someone to expand a little bit more on.
Yeah.
not
And they were
just-
like, this is a full episode. Like, this is a full
Mhm.
episode 5.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it when it comes out.
Yeah.
We got to move on though because we are running out of time. Judge ruled today that the Batman's plot was not plagiarized. This ruling happened on March 29th. This was originally a lawsuit that was filed by Chris Wozniak in 2022.
Hmm.
Wozniak's lawyer states that he disagrees with the ruling and they will be proceeding with necessary steps to continue the process.
What was the case again?
So it was Wozniak claiming that the Batman, Matt Reeves, stole from his original pitch that he gave to DC Comics back in the early 90s.
Mhm.
And this was a pitch where the Riddler basically did the same thing that happened in the Batman. And he pitched it as the story called The Ultimate Riddle. At the end of the day, the judge said, there's no probable cause for this. And
That's see, here's the thing though. I could also say, man, they really Matt Reeves really liked the Batman. because there's an entire like 2-episode arc of the Riddler just taking over Gotham.
Yeah.
He has an entire thing with the bridge. He has a thing where he's trying to sink Gotham as well. It's not a new concept.
I
It's-
feel like
It's really hard for me to go like, dang, you wrote a story where the Riddler takes over Gotham? So do like 20 other comics.
Yeah.
how else are you gonna write the Joker?
Mm-hmm.
The Joker's been written for what, more than 50 decades or 50 years at this point?
You mean the Riddler?
No, the Joker. Like, there's just so many villains have been written
In different ways.
different ways that you're bound to get a copy out of it.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, this was an original idea. It was an original idea in its own way by Matt Reeves, who wrote this. But for someone to come in and say like, oh, well, this was an idea that I pitched them and they said no, and now I'm angry because they're using it for a movie. It was a pitch.
Yeah.
I don't know how deep it goes. I don't know if this if they probably used references off of that, but again,
No,
it
but I
just seems
mean,
weird.
but that's the thing though, is that it's so hard to say, oh yeah, he definitely got that pitch from that, when even if you were to go to the Bible that they have for Batman and you were to go to what's the Riddler's like, what does the Riddler do? The Riddler takes over Gotham, he puts riddles all over the place and he makes chaos, and then goes, okay, cool, because essentially he combined the Riddler and Calendar Man.
Yeah.
In a way, because he made Riddler more Calendar Man-y, where it was like these very big events and he's killing off mob bosses, or he's killing off these like really big people.
Part of my riddles are these dates and stuff.
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
and then because even Calendar Man also does riddles too, so it's really hard for you to go, yeah, this guy totally stole my stuff.
But it's difficult to
impossible.
kind of side that. I need to read the full lawsuit just to kind of see what angle they were approaching, because the way I see it is that the Batman wasn't a story about the Riddler. It was the Riddler kind of poking the bear on the Batman after he's been the Batman for like what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
2 years, something like that.
The thing is that I feel that you know what, because I totally read that movie differently from you then, because I see it as Batman is a doctor, but he's dealing with symptoms and not the illness. Yeah. He's dealing with outer crime. Yeah. He's dealing with like what he can see. And he's blind to what is actually going on in Gotham. Like what is leading.
You're going more in depth. Okay, I see what you mean.
Like what are the bigger problems in Gotham?
Yeah.
These people, all the politicians that you're protecting are the actual criminals, and you are doing nothing to save Gotham.
He's doing primary care rather than preventative care.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like you need to actually go out, like instead of like every single day beating up just like gangs, you need to actually do some investigation into the mayor.
He's not a detective yet.
He's not a detective yet.
No.
And he's not, and not only that, but also he's not as wise to what's going on in Gotham yet.
Yeah. I could see that. So in that case, this doesn't have any.
I really want the Court of Owls though.
I know.
Probably the Batman too.
No, because you need kind of like a grizzled Batman.
That Batman's not even in development yet. I think they start filming next year.
The Batman 2?
Yeah, they start filming next year.
Yeah, but Penguin's coming out.
Yeah, that's
sure.
true.
Yeah.
Penguin's coming out, so I'm assuming they're going to lead to whatever is kind of happening. Because no matter what, Penguin is in Gotham.
Yeah.
I imagine that we're going to be seeing the Bat, probably like the Bat, spotlight. We're going to see, a couple things.
Colin Farrell is the Penguin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Everyone does. It's great.
He actually sounds more like Colin Farrell though in the trailer.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that he's mentioned already that in the Batman he wasn't allowed to smoke a cigar. In the Penguin he's going to be smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
He needs to.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's part of his character.
I want to see him with the monocle. I want to see a monocle.
Now the rating system is like, okay, when it comes to rating the movies, it's you're trying not to smoke. You have your characters smoke a lot because that's promoting smoking apparently.
It doesn't, but whatever.
No,
sure.
it's just that's how the studios.
Now, if he gave him a vape, that's something different,
Well, it's also
Kids don't smoke cigars, dude.
It's also the.
All right, let's go. All right, let's go to the boons.
You just see the Joker, which are the Riddler, and he's just blowing circles. No.
Takes a huge hit from his vape pen.
Yeah. I don't see any of. You know what? It's also really dumb too. The fact that you can immediately tell who the villains are in a movie because of their phones.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
Because any villain can't have an iPhone.
Yeah.
I can't. They all can have an Android.
Well, does Warner Brothers have No, they don't have a contract with any other phone. Sony's the only one I feel like is difficult because everyone has to have a Sony film.
Yeah,
or a Sony,
yes.
Or Sony product.
A Sony product of some kind.
Mhm.
And then they go like, let me call Mary Jane on this Zenith.
The phone that no one has.
The phone that no one will ever buy.
Somehow
Hello?
it's got like a projector screen on there.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, dude, does that phone exist? No, it doesn't.
But it will. Or DJs using
if you guys
like
are interested.
wireless. First of all, DJs using wireless headphones.
Mhm.
Not a thing.
Also, DJs using Sony headphones.
Not a thing.
Thing.
Or Dr. Dre headphones.
Mhm.
Not a thing.
Beats.
Beats. No one uses that. Come on. Still on the topic of movies, Jerry Bruckheimer has officially announced that the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, that the franchise will get a reboot with the 6th installment of the franchise. It's still being mentioned as in the works. Rumors have circulated that Craig Mazin has already written an original screenplay for this franchise alongside original screenwriter Ted Elliott. The script was supposedly purchased, but no news has come out since the writer's strike.
You know what? I think that's interesting because I do remember the rumors of we're planning on getting Johnny Depp back.
But everything is a rumor.
I don't know. Here's my thing. Do we need another Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes.
I think if we had another good Pirates of the Caribbean movie, like maybe, but you need somebody you need an actor that's going to be mesmerizing.
You need a different actor that isn't going to act like Johnny Depp. I want a different pirate.
I wouldn't mind that, but I do want Jack Sparrow as a character.
Maybe make an appearance.
No, I don't even want him to make an appearance. I want them to be like, he's a legend. Like, I think that would be interesting.
Oh, so this is like years into the future.
Yeah,
or
like, make it-
maybe
make
a
it-
couple of years, but he's gone.
Yeah, make it a couple
That's
years in the
fine.
future.
Yeah,
like,
that's
make it like
fine.
20 or 30 years in the future. All right, cool. Jack Sparrow, he's been long dead. Everything else, whatever.
It's just going to be difficult because if you're trying to write a new Pirates movie, right, people are going to want a Jack Sparrow character. And I don't want that. If you're going to reboot the franchise, give me a different pirate with a different attitude that I could like.
But the problem is that Jack Sparrow got too Jack Sparrowy.
Yeah.
Because if you go to those movies and then you go, okay, I'm gonna get Jack Sparrow from 1, and then put him side by side with Jack Sparrow from 5.
Mhm.
Two vastly different characters.
Yeah.
Because Jack Sparrow in 1 is a crazy person with a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is like, because he's doing a bunch of stuff and you're going like, wow, he's kind of a moron.
Yeah.
And then he then does something tricky and you're like, whoa, did not expect that from him.
Yeah.
And then what was it? What was the thing? He's like, you must be the worst pirate in the world. And then
That is
you
possibly
have
the
heard of
best pirate.
yeah,
I've
but you
ever
have
seen. Yeah.
but you have heard of me.
But you have heard of me.
And then he what was it? And then later on when he steals the ship, and they were like, that must be the best pirate in the world. Like he literally stole a ship from us.
Yeah.
He stole the Interceptor. And then if you go to like all the way to 5, he's just lucky. Like
Yeah.
everything he does is just luck.
So
How he's Bugs Bunny.
yeah.
Yeah.
I find it funny because we went to Andy and I went to Downtown Disney 2 weeks ago, and they had an Irish group play. It was a violinist and a guy that does like what is it called, percussions or whatever, when like they have the drums and stuff like that,
A snare.
something like that. And so they started playing like they said, oh yeah, like Irish music, you can kind of like mix it into what is it, pirate music? What is it called again?
Shanties?
Shanties. You can kind of do that.
Mhm.
And they started playing a little bit of it, and it started to like mend into the Pirates theme. And as soon as it started playing, Andy just goes like this, because she knows I like pirates. And I was like, why do you not like pirates? What's she's like, no, I don't. It's not that I don't like it.
Pirates?
She thinks that it's like she gets the appeal to it. She enjoys it, but
Yeah.
like she's not like she doesn't love it. Like I can sit down and watch the Pirates movie any day of the week.
Does she like
Oh
Lord
yeah,
of the Rings?
Pirates of the
is-
Caribbean is just great.
Did she like Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Really?
I feel that Pirates of the Caribbean 1 is a near perfect movie.
Dude, it's so great. It's still
It's-
stands.
No,
It's a near perfect movie.
It's a great movie. That's the thing.
There's nothing in that movie
Yeah.
where I'm like, wow, they should really take that out, or man, they really got to like speed this up.
A podcast I listened to did it so well. They talked about it. It's called the Film Club Podcast. You can see them on Spotify, and they talked about a really good, like, breaking it down as well too. They're like, no, Pirates of the Caribbean. The reason why Pirates of the Caribbean is so fun is that they actually harnessed what it was. It's a fun ride.
Yeah.
That's how you describe Pirates of the Caribbean.
The
But
music
Black
also
Pirates.
and it moves, and
Yeah.
it moves like
Yeah.
the music
You're,
and everything
you're
else.
on this fun
Bum, bum,
adventure
bum,
and
ba-dum.
stuff. You're
Bum,
in this
bum,
story,
ba-dum.
yeah. And the action's great, the music's great. You know, you're
The
just
They got
first
solid
fight
comedy.
between Jack and I forget Orlando Bloom's character.
Will Turner.
Will Turner.
Yeah.
It sets up the entire movie of like what to expect from the fights. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be perfect. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be pretty fights. It's basically street fights with swords.
You know what I
Yeah.
also really loved, but the reason why I like that scene too is I always loved that scene because so far you've been seeing Jack as this like
Drunk.
like this drunk, and then as soon as he meets up with Will and he actually starts
Yeah.
getting into the fight, immediately you just see him, and he just goes away,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh snap,
Yeah.
he's been faking, like
He's
he's been lying.
He's like, oh, who makes all these? I do, and I practice with them 12 hours a day. He's like, you need to find yourself a girl, mate. And it's just so great, the bantering between the two.
Oh
Johnny
my
Depp just
God.
Johnny Depp
like,
and
unless-
him are perfect.
unless you're not into girls. He goes, you're not a eunuch, are you? I was like, knowing that I know that now, like, because when I was a kid, that went over my head. I was like, yeah.
I actually didn't know that he busted. Did you know that he actually busted the lip of the stunt actor?
No, which one?
The two stuntmen. So you know when like he jumps off and then he hits him with the dowel,
Oh, yeah.
and it goes up.
Uh-huh.
So the stunt guy was on what was it? Culture?
Yeah.
The one where it's like CGI, you like they go over it, and the stunt guy was there, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I actually hit the stuntman with it, and I cut his lip." Because he went up and he was boom, and I guess his head wasn't far enough away, and he missed his mark, and it went pop,
Yeah.
and it popped him, and it cut him right underneath, and he was like, and like he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and he goes, "Oh, it's okay, it was my
Part
fault."
of my job.
Yeah, it was like it was
See,
my fault.
insurance kicks ass, dude.
Yeah, but
You're Johnny Depp, man. That's fine.
yeah, it's so good. It's really good, and Orlando Bloom is pretty awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was kind of a no-name person,
Yeah.
and like Orlando Bloom is known for stuff,
This
but
guy,
he's
yeah.
known to be Will Turner.
That's the thing. I think he was doing. He got done with. I think like the first Lord of the Rings movie before that, though, wasn't it? Because Pirates of the Caribbean came out.
That's right. He is in Lord of the Rings.
So he was. I mean, he was only known for one role. He never did.
He was known for Legolas,
and that was it.
and then I think he had just done one.
Yeah.
He had just done Lord of the Rings one,
But
and
isn't all the Lord of the Ring actors, weren't they not well known?
they weren't.
Yeah.
No,
Orlando
they were-
Bloom, like he blew up after that, and then
Or
he
Elijah
got
Woods too.
Elijah Wood.
Well, Elijah Wood was already known. He's a child
He was
actor.
he was a child actor.
Same thing with Sean Astin.
Yeah.
They were known
Because
but
he was because John Astor was in the Goonies.
But they weren't known.
Rudy. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they weren't like household names in the nerd world. And
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes. It would be interesting to see because I forgot that Orlando Bloom still acts because he did Gran Turismo.
Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. He looks good. He looks
good.
good.
He does. No,
Yeah.
he. You know what? I wouldn't mind if his character does come back, but not even like
Not a
He
full
came back
character.
in.
Yeah.
He came back in the last one.
he came back in the last one, but he wasn't a full character. It was more of like
'Cause he
his name was dropped because it was part of the plot.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
he was Davy Jones
Yeah,
because they go on what's it called?
they try to break the curse.
Yeah, because
son.
his son is trying to break the curse for Davy Jones.
Gotcha.
And-
I've only seen 1, 2, and 3. I have not seen
Oh.
4 or 5 yet.
Stranger
doesn't matter.
Tides is not bad.
It's
I
okay.
like Blackbeard as a villain
Uh huh.
because it's Shane Black.
No, it's not Shane.
Who
Not
is it?
Shane Black,
Who's
but
it?
it's
What's
the
his
dude
name?
from Death Race.
Yeah. Oh, he's Winston.
From
Oh.
he plays
from John Wick. Yeah.
yeah he plays
He plays Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
So what I need to do is I need to get COVID again because when I had COVID,
You're
or when I
That's
had
something you
COVID,
don't want to wish.
No, you know, I don't know. Why.
I need to
Because
get
when
COVID again.
Because when I had it,
And then-
right, quotes, because it never tested positive.
And then it
for
was Benicio del Toro. Was it not? It's not Benicio del Toro. Who's the guy from Dune?
Which one?
The guy who plays
one of the
Sigil?
Skarsgårds.
No, he played Sigil. The guy that was like, oh, he's Wahib.
Oh,
Javier.
Javier Bardem.
Bardem.
Yeah.
Javier
He plays
Bardem. He plays the villain in this film.
in
Okay.
the fifth one. He's
So-
like a ghost
Yeah.
pirate.
I need to get
Yeah.
sick
Yeah.
again because when I got sick the
That was
last
actually
time for a
sick
week,
scene.
Yeah.
I watched every Star Wars movie,
See, okay, here's the thing though.
so I could do that. If
I
got
actually
sick.
do
Watch
like
all
the
Pirates.
Javier Bardem one.
Mhm.
I do like that one because it shows a
Yeah.
younger Johnny Depp in
It
that
was-
one.
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
But it's a cool scene.
That's Stranger Tides, isn't it?
No, Dead Man Tells
That's
No Tales.
Dead Man
Does it?
Tell No Tales. Because in that one, it shows a scene where Javier Bardem is chasing him down,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see that Johnny Depp goes into like this cavern, and then tricks him.
I see.
And then he like keeps going and he switches back and Javier Bardem is stuck in this tide and he can't get out. And like you see Johnny Depp's character just like flag him down and he just crashes straight into it. And you're like,
And that's
that's
where he
very
gets his like vendetta against Jack Sparrow.
but
Okay.
it's also one of those things of like that's a very Jack Sparrow-y thing to do where he has a plan.
But the thing is that the Jack Sparrow version that Johnny Depp portrays in this one is very hammy. Because it's the fifth movie.
He's marked up to 11.
Yeah, and then they give him like these like what Nick says, they give him these situations where he's just lucky.
Yeah.
Like
I think
he's
Sarah mentioned that to me.
His
when
head
we were
is on
talking about-
like a guillotine.
Yeah.
And then like the guillotine starts like shifting around, so the blade's going he's like hold on.
I think because Sarah and I had
chill.
Yeah, like it just keeps on like going close to him and he goes no okay. And it just keeps going back and forth, but I always thought it was great because his success in the other movies is a mixture between luck and him just being a genius.
Yeah,
So-
that's the thing.
so
Like he's an idiot. He's the dumbest genius you've ever
he's
met.
the luckiest idiot in
Yeah.
this one.
Sarah and I had a conversation about this because she was mentioning how it started in the third one where that luck starts to happen way more often than it should. And it's like sometimes it just doesn't make any sense, but you're still along for the ride for the most part.
I think in the third one you really kind of just like wave that off because it's ending the arc from the previous movies.
Yeah.
Like, this is the final movie.
because you're dealing with Davy Jones and
It's all wrapping up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so before we move on to video game news, I'll talk about Akira Toriyama real quick. Dragon Ball Super artist Toyo. No.
Wait, these are like
No.
Did they wish him back and then he died?
they collect all the Dragon Balls.
What?
That was so. It was so sad. Somebody put a post for Akira Toriyama, and they were like, "Somebody quick, give me the Dragon Balls." And then underneath, there was another post underneath, and it's like, "You can't bring people back who have died of natural causes."
Oh, that's right.
That is the way. That is the way of the earth.
Is that a real rule?
That's a real rule
Oh,
because
really?
in the Android saga, they go, "Well, why can't we just wish Goku back?"
Yeah.
Like if Goku's dead, why didn't you guys wish him back?
Yeah.
And then Shenron says, "Well, he died of natural causes. I can't break the way of destiny. Destiny has deemed him to die.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I can't break that. I can only do it if like somebody was murdered because their time had been cut short."
Oh, okay.
So Dragon Ball Super artist Toyo Taro has shared Akira Toriyama's final suggestion for the manga. The panel shows Piccolo waving goodbye. So apparently the fans have kind of seen this. It's a panel where I think it's Goku and two other characters are flying away, and Piccolo turns around and waves goodbye to Gohan, who's staying behind. And the fans have kind of seen it as a like they've meta narrative it where it's like, oh, this is Akira Toriyama's like goodbye to the fans. Apparently the story is that they've had written the panel a certain way, and Toriyama said, you know what, let's change this one panel to have Piccolo wave goodbye, and this is before his death. This is going to be in chapter 103 of the Dragon Ball Super manga.
If they animate this, can we have "Till I See You Again" play in the background?
Someone will do a fan edit about that. I think what hurts the most is that Piccolo was Toriyama's favorite character.
It was.
Yeah, so
That's also.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I really like it because you can tell that Piccolo is his favorite character just because of how much. he gives Piccolo to do. Well, no, because like you can tell that he really liked the idea of Pan. He really likes Piccolo. He likes the relationship between Gohan and Piccolo.
Yeah.
He was more of the father figure.
He is.
Yeah.
And it's super funny
Goku's
because in Super...
Well, both Vegeta and Goku are
they're
flawed.
terrible fathers.
No, Vegeta's a way better father.
Really? He beat his own son.
And he still took him to the amusement park.
That's true.
I mean,
No,
look at it this way. His own son from the future was smart enough to go back in time and be like, okay, I gotta change the timeline. Where did Gohan was like, Gohan's like, hey, I have a family now, so I'm gonna stop fighting.
Not only that, but
I'm
also
gonna fight in secret.
No, but
make sure I don't tell my wife.
Well, in Super, Vegeta's actually not going to go to the Tournament of Power because Bulma's pregnant.
That's right. Yeah.
And he specifically says, I can't leave my wife when she's pregnant. Yeah. And then Goku's like, why?
Goku was dead. He's
like Goku was like, I've been dead every single time my wife is pregnant. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, guess what? I came back 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Dragon Ball Superhero?
Yeah,
I love
we
it.
watched- Yeah, we saw
It's
it.
so
We
good.
saw it at the theater. Yeah,
And
together.
people didn't like it. I'm like,
No,
why?
it
It's
was
Dude, it's so
fun.
much fun.
It's Gohan's story, dude.
Listen,
He's like the
listen.
goat.
I wasn't up to date at any sort of Dragon Ball's show before watching it, but I still picked up what was happening.
Yeah,
and stuff
it's a-
like
Well,
that.
it was
Good.
very.
It's a good
It was they
Yeah.
the narrative was very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very good narrative. They like everything was on the board, and it was bringing up Dr. Gero and all these. So if you knew Dragon Ball Z, you were like, okay, I get this.
Yeah.
You got
I
it.
get what's going on.
Yeah.
I really like just in general how much Piccolo is the true grandfather to Pan.
Yeah.
Have you seen the episodes of Super?
Yes.
There's an episode of I just love the episode of Super where Goku is living at Gohan's house.
Uh-huh.
So Piccolo's like, well, you could babysit. You're her grandfather. And then he's like listing off all these things that Pan likes. And then he leaves and then he hears Pan scream, like crying. And he goes, oh, I can't leave for anything. And he just like immediately comes back to go care for Pan because he can't leave.
That's right. Yeah.
It's such a cute scene. I love it so much. And yeah, man, like
It's
I
funny
I love their relationship.
If Toriyama's favorite character was Piccolo, it was like he wanted Goku, Vegeta, and all the other, Saiyans to basically have like major flaws. And Piccolo's like the one who started out kind of really bad because he wasn't a good guy
What,
until
was
he split himself from what's his name?
a Kami?
Kami, yeah.
No.
He
What are
was
you talking about?
in Dragon Ball, he wasn't a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Yeah, he was.
The first one.
Yeah, that's King Piccolo. This is Piccolo Jr.
Oh my god, dude. Okay,
First
sure.
off, this
it's
is
the
his son.
same entity, but
No, it's
split.
not. It's his son.
Okay, fine.
He even says, my dad.
Okay. All right.
It's not
So
the
is
same
that-
person.
so any more from comic strips?
This is gonna go on forever.
Don't you get on this Dragon Ball. I know Dragon Ball better than you.
It's okay, that's fine.
Murder you,
Do you want a freaking medal?
I do. Where is it?
Renee has it.
He wants a Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah,
Gimme, gimme.
give him the 2-star Dragon Ball. Or give him the 2-star. You can only activate him if you hold him.
Two, all right.
I'll give you a dragon.
I call my balls the 1-star and 2-star.
Drag these balls.
Hey, Rene, I'm only feeling the one. Where's the two?
Hold on.
Oh, it's
Two
Joey.
Cold. It was cold.
What is it, Joey?
No,
It's on the top.
It was just cold.
2K officially buys Gearbox Studios, creators of the Borderland games. So this buyout is interesting because originally Gearbox Studios was owned by Embracer Group, a Swedish game company that originally bought Gearbox for $1.3 billion 3 years ago. Then they resold this company to 2K, the publisher 2K, for $460 million. So they sold that at a loss. The assets will be split, with 2K purchasing the rights to franchises like Homeworld, Borderlands, and the Duke Nukem franchise, and their studios in Quebec, Montreal, and Frisco, Texas. Those will be owned by 2K from here on
Let's
out.
be 100%. What are we doing with Duke Nukem?
Nothing.
Like, when
But-
was the last Duke Nukem game that came? When was the last time you were like, oh, you know what game I'm looking forward to? Duke Nukem.
That's the one I want, right?
That's what I'm spending $60
With this purchase,
Like
they've
my
also
polo shirt.
They've also
Never
announced
named.
that 2 Borderland titles are they're being hinted at as being worked on. So Borderlands 3 might be on the horizon. Or did we
Yeah.
have a Borderlands 3? No, Borderlands 4.
It would be Borderlands 4. Borderlands 3 did come out already.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I
And then
played
you-
it, I couldn't do it.
And then you also had Tales from the Borderlands as well.
Oh,
that was
Tiny Tina's Wonder
And
World.
then you also had
Yeah.
Tiny Tina. So
Yeah.
they've had expansions.
Yeah.
In all fairness, at no point has Borderlands been better than Borderlands 2, though.
Yeah, everyone says that. I think they might just remaster Borderlands 2 at this point.
Or just kind of go back to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, do you ever wish that you can play video games with your mind?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well, anyways, Nolan Arbaugh has become the first human being to successfully use the Neuralink chip after a successful surgery.
Isn't
I've
he paraplegic?
Yes.
Okay.
So he is using the
I've seen
Elon
certain
Musk
articles. That makes no sense.
led created Neuralink chip that's in his brain.
Yeah.
Footage from the live stream shows Nolan moving the mouse cursor over different areas of the screen while playing chess.
Mhm.
And when he did his interview, he said that he actually stayed up all night after the surgery playing Civilization 6 on his PC using the Neuralink.
He chose that game.
Civ 6 is great.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just really want to see him play Helldivers. You just see him and he's like, for democracy! Just- and then it's like, oh, I gotta get a stratagem. it drops. And it's just like,
So
ah!
is it like Sword Art Online? He's like, Neuralink on. And
And
So
then he's
apparently
like,
it has to recharge.
the Neuralink?
The Neuralink is rechargeable, so it's not always on.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah,
I feel like that's an easy problem to fix. Just plug it to the wall. Then.
he has to you can't plug his brain into the
Sorry,
wall.
man, I can't leave. My Neuralink's plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
100. Okay, as I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
As much as I have seen so many anime
Yeah.
with like full dive technology, and they've been
Yeah.
cute and they've been fun.
Yeah.
I've seen Sword Art Online. I'm not in.
No.
I'm not in. I've seen Sword Art
Yeah.
Online. I saw how that ended. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
What about
No.
Cyberpunk, dude? Wait
Huh?
until Cyberpunk.
I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you get mech'd? Would you
Maybe.
get chromed?
Maybe. A little bit.
No, you wouldn't.
A little bit.
No, you don't like needles. How would you deal with this?
Put me to sleep. Put me to sleep. I don't need to watch it.
What are you talking about?
Then
There
I'll
was
wake up.
Listen, there was a
Sorry.
bunch of stuff in Cyberpunk that he was like, "Oh, I need you awake because I have to hook it up."
But
to
it
you."
was illegal. They were doing it in the underground, dude. Okay?
I just really want them to go like, "All right, man, I'm gonna do this," and then they they get you and they're like, "Okay, cool. Am I going to sleep?" No, you're gonna be awake for this whole thing.
Yeah.
We're actually going to peel your
Whole thing.
whole face
Yeah,
off.
we need you
Now,
awake because
let's get that face off. Just
we actually need you awake because we need to monitor your brain activity as we're doing this.
no.
Oh, I got my Cyberpunk vinyl.
Oh,
you
yeah.
did?
Did
Yeah.
Joey pee on that one too?
No, God. If he pees on that one, he's dead.
See, here's my understanding of that one. Back to the Joey peeing on things.
Oh, my God.
Why
we
do
got to
you-
move on.
I understand that, but why do you put things at a level that he can get to?
Because
that's
then we'd have to
interesting.
make it like 6 feet tall. And that's
He's
unreachable for
not
Andy.
he's not that
He
big.
will get to places, trust me. Moving on.
pee on?
Yes. Marvel has announced a new PC exclusive game called Marvel Rivals. It's developed by NetEase Games and Marvel Games. The
It's
PvP
Overwatch.
shooter will play
It's just
similar to
Overwatch.
Overwatch, boasts destructive environments, and character-specific movesets that can only happen when certain heroes interact with each other.
It's just a Marvel skinned Overwatch.
18 characters have been announced, but Spider-Man is the only person, or is the only hero that has been announced with a voice actor. It's going to be Yuri Lowen.
Do I know who that is?
He's the voice of the Spider-Man,
Sony Spider-Man. Yeah.
the Sony Spider-Man video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's coming back for that one. That's interesting. Yeah, look good. Looks great
It does.
Mine-
It looks fun. I mean, I'll try it out when it gets to the PS5.
when it gets to consoles, but PC right now is on the
Yeah,
market.
PC Master Race.
Last bit of news: the Nolans have been in the news. Christopher
ones?
Nolan, alongside wife and producing partner Emma Thomas, will receive knighthood and damehood
I'm not gonna
in
lie.
England.
I thought you were gonna say that Christopher Nolan has teamed up with Nolan from The Rookie. He's doing an episode. Like Christopher Nolan is gonna direct an episode. It's gonna be all Vanguard. It's gonna be sick. Honestly, I thought that's where you're gonna go.
Nolan will be directing Nolan.
And Nolan, it's Nolan on
A
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan directed Rookie episode.
Yeah, dude, you know how sick
And
that would be.
Nolan's not even in it.
Nolan's nowhere to be found.
He's not.
It's Nolan on Nolan.
Last piece of news before we wrap it up.
Yeah, just Hans
Jonathan.
Zimmer, sorry. Hans Zimmer doing the song of that episode. Doing the intro.
Jonathan Nolan is in the news because via some interviews, they have confirmed that the development of the Fallout TV series
Yeah.
kind of leaked out.
Sorry.
What?
Every time you say Nolan's on the news or John Nolan, I think you're gonna say something terrible about this person. Like,
Why?
I don't know why. I'm expecking like, oh yeah, he's
He
been
won an
convicted.
Oscar.
John Nolan has been convicted of
It's
child
not
trafficking. like,
Along with his
no,
brother.
Yeah, like Christopher Nolan is doxxed. Like,
Well, freaking Jimmy Kimmel already did that
For what?
by in that whole Oscars thing. He like called out his porn addiction or whatever.
Who's porn addiction?
Christopher Nolan.
He has a porn addiction?
I don't know, but
so he's just a human.
So he's human?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I,
so-
I feel like it's not an addiction until it messes with you
Confirmed
every day.
via interviews alongside the development of the Fallout TV series. Basically, Jonathan Nolan and Todd Howard had conversations where they essentially talked about storytelling elements for the series. And the reason why is because more details of Fallout 5 were discussed between the two so that they can keep the storytelling intact and not talk about elements that could potentially be released when the game does come out.
It's
So-
okay. It's Fallout. Nobody cares.
Shut your freaking
Dude,
mouth.
it's Fallout
I swear.
5.
It's Fallout 5.
Fallout
Todd
70.
is you shut your
anything like
goddamn
Fallout
mouth.
76.
Todd
it's
has
fine.
Todd has also
No one will
mentioned
play
that
it.
the plan and story outline for Fallout 5 is already in development back in 2023, but the more details that they talk about, it kind of makes it seem like the one pager thing that they were talking about is a lie, and they actually have more plans to keep going with it. Bethesda also mentioned that Elder Scrolls 6 is in deeper development with a teaser coming soon. And the trailer was released 5 years ago. It was a teaser trailer. They're expecting a release date to be announced maybe this summer.
Thank you, Big Daddy Microsoft, for getting them back on track.
2025.
It really, honestly, it really does sound like Microsoft really got them on track.
Basically, I said, what the hell are you guys doing? Just get it done.
Right.
Like,
5 years. The teaser was 5 years ago.
like I really do feel like Microsoft came in like the old, like the mom, and just going like, what is going on in
This
here?
mess. What? Why did you leave wonton oil all over the dishes? Huh? Bethesda?
I am not a child. don't you even. I was in a hurry to meet you.
You didn't close the freezer.
I did close the freezer. I closed it, damn it.
You Bethesda.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I did not Bethesda.
Monica's kitchen.
Yeah, there was more. Yeah, there was more people in Monica's kitchen than there were inside Fallout 76. What are you talking about?
That is true. That is true. There was one. You were the sole survivor.
I was the sole person in Fallout 76.
And you messed it all up, dude.
Yeah, you can't mess up a world that's
That
already
is the
destroyed.
end of comic strips, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the Titan news of Godzilla Cross Kong, the new empire.
It was good.
That
Okay,
was it. Wrap it
let's
up.
wrap it up. Yeah.
Why do we always do that joke? People are gonna get old. They're gonna
This
get
has been
tired.
Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue
They just
192.
want to know if
I talked to Noel last week, and he's just like, I love how I listen to the show, and anytime Nick says something, I'm just waiting for Bryan to get like riled up.
Yeah.
It's like you two should just kind of like, like stop. It's a, what did he say it was? It was a will they won't they relationship.
Oh,
Nick
we're-
says something.
No, we're
Bryan
definitely.
then gets angry.
Oh,
and
we're
then it's just
definitely
like,
gonna have
well,
sex.
they're just,
it's gonna happen.
It's like it's gonna be the 5th season.
it's,
It's always the 5th
Year
season.
5.
It's always
That's
year.
true.
It's
Year
always year
five.
5.
it's
That's
just like
when-
The Office, dude. Pam and
Yeah.
Jim didn't get together till like season 4.
Oh, was it season 4?
I think so. It
This-
takes them a while.
This is the season. This is when we make out.
No, it's
This
not.
is
dude.
So they first kiss, and then they don't make anything of it.
If the
until
story
season
were to
five.
and
actually
then
happen,
7 more.
you
And then
guys,
7 more seasons.
you guys are gonna have the accidental hookup, and then
No.
actually no, you guys have been hooking
What do
up.
you
in
mean
this season.
accidental? First of all,
It's gonna happen.
It was well
You
meant.
guys are gonna Monica and Chandler this whole thing.
I'm fine with that.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
Joey it.
I'm fine.
You'll be a Joey.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, dude.
Everybody sleeps with you once and then regrets it.
No one regrets it with Joey. They just don't like the fact he doesn't call back.
You know, the one thing we don't regret is watching Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
It was
actually not bad.
Like,
Yeah.
So I went into this movie without any expectations.
Mhm.
I am still on the King of Monsters was the better of all the MonsterVerse movies
Really?
so far. Yeah, I think I
think so.
enjoyed more of the fight scenes in that one.
Mhm.
I just like the Godzilla development a lot better in that one. Godzilla versus Kong, it felt more story heavy. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a little bit more, but
Mhm.
I wasn't really vibing with it as much.
I think I preferred this one because I liked the subplot with Kong a lot more in this one. It made more sense for Kong to have a little bit more screen time
Mhm.
than Godzilla. But it was still fun to watch as a whole. I
Mhm.
enjoyed it. I liked the buildup of the Scar King, though it did take a while to get there.
Mhm.
It took like an hour and something minutes to
Yeah.
get
And it
to
was less than an
finally-
hour because the movie was only an hour and 40 minutes.
Was
or
it really?
55,
Yeah,
It felt
so
like
it-
2 hours.
no, it was an hour and 40, so it
Mhm.
took at least an hour
Mhm.
Yeah.
to like really get to
Mhm.
the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was like just like a lot of things that were like already kind of like, oh, okay, they purposely wrote that in, like the whole like little girl being the prophesized one.
They wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that everything you've watched before will make sense.
That's the
up to
thing.
this point.
Yeah.
The-
Spoiler alerts, if you guys have not seen the movie, pause it now, go watch it, then come back.
No.
We haven't spoiled much yet, but
Did
we're going into
You know
it.
what? The one thing I was really impressed with is the reason why I'm not as up on King of Monsters is because some of the major fights are at night. And a lot of it, and a lot of the CGI just kind of blends together. Like it's not that it's hard to figure out what's going on, but there's a lot of darkness.
Are you seeing it on normal, on just a streaming platform?
Just
or
like
no?
a streaming platform?
See, 'cause
there's
I
a lot
watched-
there's a lot of darkness, but I'm really happy with this one because they're fighting in the day.
So that's
There's a lot of daytime fights.
I think for me, because I've seen every one of these movies in IMAX,
Mhm.
and King of Monsters stood better in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it on TV as well. And you're right, it doesn't look pretty on TV. But in IMAX, it's a different experience. Because I've seen that movie at least 2 or 3 times in IMAX and then once in 4D.
Did King of Monsters come out with?
It was 4D.
It came out in 4. You went to go see it in 4D, didn't you?
Yeah, that was Andy's first experience in 4D.
Because that came out around the same time as Maverick, I think.
No. King of Monsters was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
That was
Was it
2018.
pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Godzilla versus Kong, what came out after COVID.
Mhm.
I remember because we saw that together.
In 4D.
Yeah.
I remember King of Monsters was 4D because Rodin's like flying and then goes,
What?
does the whole tail spin.
You're like, oh.
That's a joke. That's how why we had to pay for a chiropractor. No, but I think in a lot of these monster movies they really do rely a lot on darkness.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, it's an old
I
trick.
think-
It's an oldie
yeah.
but a goodie. And I
You
think
don't have to focus so hard on the CGI. That's why.
well, because you can hide a lot more. There's a lot more you can hide, and that's why I was a little more impressed with this one because there's a lot of light.
There is.
Especially on the fights.
Especially as a character as Kong, you have to worry about the hair moving in the wind and then the texture,
teeth.
sunlight and stuff. His teeth, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
The major thing for the movie, and I was telling you, was I felt like the movie had a problem with scale.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moments in the movie where I was like, I don't know how big things are
Yeah.
because everything's big. Everything looks small.
So that coincides with something that I also noticed, that this movie is 3/4 monsters, 3/4 monsters,
Yeah.
1/4 human.
Good. Universal learned.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they
Universal has
so
been
this
listening
movie
to the fans.
It made sense because you have 3 major plot points. It's
Yeah.
the humans going to Hollow Earth to
Yeah.
try to figure out what this SOS
Mm-hmm.
message was about. You have Kong's journey to find his new family.
Yeah.
And then you have Godzilla going like, look, I'm just prepping for this because you
Yeah.
guys are all going to mess this up
Yeah,
again.
because the thing in Godzilla versus Kong, it was so much of, okay, we need a subplot with the humans, but we also got to lead in with, we also got to hint at Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
So we got to focus on like this large cast of humans, while in Kong Godzilla, New Empire, they really shrunk it down to like 4 characters for the human subplot.
I feel
That's
like for,
all you need.
I feel like
Yeah.
for the Universal Godzilla movies, I feel like for the Godzilla movies in general, they were following the Michael Bay
Yeah.
kind of strategy for Transformers.
For Transformers, yeah.
Where it was like, okay, cool, the Transformers are here, but they're not the main characters.
Yeah.
We still have our actors
Yeah.
who are the
We
main
got our
people.
Witwickies.
So
Yeah.
I love how you said they focused on 4
Fuck
characters, and I'm just like, there's a 5th one. I'm like, wait, they got rid of him in like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
There's one too many.
He
Get
got
him
eaten
out
by
of
a tree. Yeah.
How do we get rid of one?
So out of this,
Somebody needs to die
so
in this
out of
group.
all the human characters throughout the movie, I think obviously the best one is from the original first Godzilla and then Godzilla King of Monsters, but he died. Was it that one Japanese dude?
Oh, he was in the first one.
Yeah, he was in the first one. He was a really cool character.
He dies in the radiation.
Yeah,
in,
because he's
Godzilla versus Kong.
basically he resurrects Godzilla and stuff like that.
Was it Godzilla or King of Monsters? Is he?
He was
died?
King of Monsters. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember, yeah. And then the
It's the
this
dude from
one,
Inception, right?
yeah. But the one I liked more is this in the new one was the vet dude. I actually like the vet dude. He's actually really cool.
He's pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed him a lot. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to having more time with him.
I'm hoping in the next movie they use him more.
Yeah.
I want this one. I do want him to make an upgrade for Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like
See, that's the thing.
Godzilla's got to get a mech
So,
hand or
look,
something. I don't know.
I'm gonna get you on this. All right.
A mech mouth.
Look.
Yeah, like
I love how this movie just kind of made it clear
Yeah.
that Kong is not a good Titan unless he gets upgrades.
No, it's
My
true.
boy Godzilla doesn't need no human
No, he just
upgrades.
goes on his own side
in,
quests.
in all fair,
Hang on. Godzilla basically said, look, something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get more energy. Goes
Yeah.
to France, blows up a nuclear plant
Let
to
me
absorb
suck
it.
up this Luke
Then,
Cage.
Suck it dry.
then he says,
dry.
like, wait, so the magnetic fields of the Earth are
Mhm.
telling me that this part of the Earth is receiving the most nuclear energy from the sun. So I'm going to
All
go
right.
there. All right, let's go. Oh, there's someone living here. My bed now.
Yeah.
Goes in there, kills the monster.
I know it was like
outta here.
I know. I like how he got there, and then he was like, was it Tiamat was like, Godzilla, this is my house, and he's like, it's a nice house you got.
Would
Where's
be
your
a
bed?
shame
Yeah.
if you got evicted.
Yellow papers. Eviction notice, baby. And then he's just like, what? No.
Hold up.
So you got exactly 5 seconds to get out.
You got
And
5 seconds before, and then he starts wrapping around Godzilla. Godzilla's like, What the? You just see his atomic breath.
I know, he just chops him up. Dude,
Ice is floating up.
The only thing that would have made that funnier
Yeah.
is if he would have grabbed a piece of his head and then ate it as he was walking into his house.
Yeah,
Basically.
Like if he would have been
Yeah.
like, and then like, it was a nice place you have. Just
oh, please lay in my bed. Oh, I will.
So the fun thing about this movie is that the monsters all had distinctive personalities.
No, Kong had
Kong
a great,
was so
Kong
great.
had this great, and I said it in the theater. I love this like demeanor he had. He's all like,
he's the guy. He's the guy with a large penis in the locker room. He's
so
King
great.
Kong.
King
What
Kong.
was the
Oh, yeah,
joke?
I go like King Kong, aka Big Daddy Kong, aka Big Dick Congo.
AKA hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah, aka I'm going after the Ska King.
he walked in. He walked in like he
AKA,
owned
where's my
the room.
goddamn axe?
He did walk in like
Yeah.
that.
AKA who
Honestly,
the hell do you think you are?
It's a great look on Kong.
No, it is.
It's a great
It
look.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It
I-
makes
I-
so much sense.
I also love the idea that they're showing that Kong is intelligent just by him making traps.
Screw him, dude.
No, that's
yeah, it's
great.
cool.
That's
It's cool.
so.
Well, he has all this time. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna.
I like how
make
he's just
this
like.
pit right here.
I like how he's like, oh man, I'm lonely. I'm gonna make a hole.
Did you notice that his fight stance are different now? He
In
used to be
Kongs?
more brute, and
Yeah.
now like when he was surrounded by the other Kongs,
He went
kind of
like
goes
that
like
into a
he's like, all right, let's
boxing
do
fight.
it. Ooh, it's gonna be like he's freaking Rocky
He's Mike
Balboa right there.
Tyson.
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson.
Dude, it looked like he was about to fight in the rain, dude. He was just like, you just see all these guys surrounding him, and he's like all hurt, and he goes, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh dang, all right,
Yeah.
cool, let's do this.
I loved it because also when we get to see Kong versus the Scar King had a different way of fighting as well.
Dude,
did.
he had like this this weird like whip
Yeah,
kind of. He had
With
like
a
a
knife?
whip
Yeah.
a whip stance where he's like spinning all over the place, and he's
Yeah, he's going like this. He's twisting around. He's all, he's all like, and I'm like,
It's
dude,
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, dude,
Basically.
and he was a spine. I was like, this is sick.
All right, let's talk about the main funny fight part of this entire movie. So I'll start by saying this.
Yeah.
There were edits in the trailer that really did a good job in kind of hyping up a certain part of the movie.
Yeah,
Spoiler, it's Mothra. She was
yeah.
scratched out.
I didn't expect Mothra to be
No,
in this movie.
she was scratched out of the trailer because in the trailer, Kong and Godzilla are roaring up in the air, and there's an empty space in the middle. That's where Mothra was.
Oh, okay.
So the funny part about it is that Kong, they tell Kong, "Hey, you need to get Godzilla down
Yeah.
here because you ain't gonna win this fight on your own."
You need
No,
a buddy.
in all fairness, no one told Kong anything.
No,
He
the
just
girl did.
No, he just did.
No, the girl tells him.
No.
Is it? I
Yes.
have to
No,
watch
she
that again.
doesn't. No,
Yeah, she
doesn't.
does.
I don't
No,
know.
she doesn't.
When he gets the power gauntlet, he
He
then
just
goes like, "You're not."
leaves.
No, he tells the goat.
They're telling each other. They're extracting.
So they're communicating. Same freaking point.
But they're not talking to Kong. They're talking to the audience to explain what the monkey's doing. Because the monkey just ran off.
yeah.
The monkey ran off, and then they were like, "Oh, what's he doing?" And then she's like, "Oh, he's going to get Kong because he knows he
back
can't
up.
win. So he's got to bring Godzilla down here." So no one tells Kong to do anything.
So before we get to that part, they do reference a lot of already known behaviors of the Titans, which is by the end of Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla has made it fact. The surface world is mine. You don't come up here. You don't get messed up. You stay down there. That's your place. So if Kong comes up to the surface world, Godzilla can sense that.
Yes,
That's what Kong did.
Well, because Godzilla knows where all the Titans are.
Exactly. So Kong comes up to the surface world, pops up in Egypt. There's a giant hole that leads into Hollow Earth. Godzilla comes out and goes just like, "What'd I tell you, dude? What did I tell you? You stayed down there. Why are you coming back over here?" They start to fight. But the best part about it is that when
Like
Godzilla
Kong,
rolls
like,
up,
yeah, he's like,
Kong
"Oh, I'm
just
about to tackle your butt."
And then you see King Kong. Whoa!
whoa, chill, chill,
Yeah,
chill.
literally went like this, like, whoa, wait.
Like, whoa! I can explain.
Yeah.
I can explain. And then then they're fighting, and then you see a scene where King Kong just gets on Godzilla, and he's like, "I didn't want to fight you.
Yeah.
I told you that."
So apparently someone told me, I talked to someone that's seen it as well too, and here at the shop he goes like, "Did you see a video of them putting in from the audio from Age of Ultron of Tony Stark going, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, over King Kong, punching the hell out of Godzilla, and going like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I was like, no, I did not see that.
I love the scene where he grabs him by the tail and he's like, oh, you're not coming down willingly. I'm just going to drag you down to Hollow Earth.
But there was a great wrestling move that Godzilla did to Kong.
Dude,
yeah.
The
Just
boy, man.
grabs him
The man.
Yeah, as soon as he grabs him, he goes, all right, you're going up. And just suplex the hell out of King Kong. I was like, you know what? I looked at Bryan like, I'm not even mad at that. Like, that's so cool to see.
I'm not going to lie. I really wanted King Kong to like run on the pyramid, and then like just elbow him, or
They
just
did, dude. They watched wrestling and said, "Let's just make these guys wrestle."
dude, that'd be hilarious.
Godzilla did a suplex.
Yeah.
King Kong did Seth Rollins' stomp.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm almost positive he was gonna do the people's elbow. I wanted him just to run and then just. Just on Scar King. There was so much. Rio de Janeiro is
my
gone.
God.
Yeah.
I think the best part about that entire scene is that they keep fighting and Godzilla doesn't understand. You need to come down here.
Yeah.
And the only reason Godzilla understands is because Mothra shows up.
Yeah.
And
Mothra
once
shows up and goes like, "Baby, no."
Oh, sorry,
got you.
babe. It's just this guy, dude. This guy just.
I'll get you in a second. I'm just gonna get this guy out of here. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was so funny because Bryan had a different take on it, and if it was like, if it was Godzilla got mad that Mothra was taking his side, like, just like, oh, what have you been doing with him? You my girl.
you my queen.
You supposed to be my queen.
Yeah.
Now I gotta kill you both.
Just turned into OJ.
Yeah, it's Godzilla. Godzilla's just OJ. No, but I do really like. The only problem I had with Mothra is I felt like Mothra just shows up
Yeah.
and then is just kind of flying around.
She's a character. She's a fan favorite.
She is a fan
Yeah.
favorite, but I do like when Mothra actually does things.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that little girl was chosen to awaken Mothra. And they don't show it, but I was like, is she basically never-ending story
Yes.
in it? Like
And then she lands up on the top.
Yeah, she walks out and she's walking away from Mothra. I'm like, she was
like, yeah! That's how I like to think of it. It's like she was the holding on to it.
She was like doing sign language.
This movie knew where it was going, and it also was just like, okay, we know that you guys just want the fight.
Yeah.
It
So
took
they
its
take the
time.
fight to Rio.
Yeah.
Everyone's dead. Like thousands of
Yeah.
people are
It's
dead.
so funny that the movie is trying so hard to go, but there weren't human casualties. Like, because there's so many scenes where they're
Because
just
it
like, where they
makes-
take them out to the desert.
How many bridges did Godzilla take
Dude,
down?
You were
God.
laughing at that part.
Well,
I
because
was.
He was
we
just
were
like,
laughing
he
at
was
it.
just swimming through the canals
It's
of
a
Rome.
close-up shot of the bridges of him just going, and Nick's like, no. And I was laughing. I was like, is that too soon? He's all like, maybe. Like,
No, but
can
there
you
was.
imagine that they saw the movie? They saw that happening. Like, ooh, wait, how many bridges does he take down in this? That we have
3.
3. Ah,
No, he took out like 4 or 5.
he took down like more.
Oh,
Yeah,
and the
it's a
best
full-on
part about
canal.
it, I think it was you who said that joke.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine waiting your entire life to go see the Colosseum in Italy.
saving up your money.
You
Go
go.
finally
want to
go
go
to
to
Greece.
Rome. The Colosseum's like the number one thing that's like the top of the list. You know, I always come up with these like subplots in my head and stuff like that.
You get there, and then it's just giant atomic
You're
lizards.
dying. You got a little inheritance from your dying grandparent to help you get into get to Rome.
Here's my thing though. He's radioactive in general.
Yes.
So wouldn't Rome just be irradiated?
The Colosseum is entirely
Yeah,
irradiated.
that's
Like,
the
it's-
thing,
it- like,
'cause
anything
it's made out
around
of-
it?
It's made out of what's
Rock.
the Colosseum? No, it's also isn't it some type
like
of metal? It's like
limestone.
it's like a conductive kind of thing, isn't
Oh
it?
well, rip.
It's like limestone
Yeah.
and like I think granite.
Yeah,
Well, they reference that at the end of the movie because Godzilla makes the Colosseum his home. At
Yeah.
the end of the movie,
it's all
they
curled
come
up
back.
like a cat.
He's
a
just like,
cat.
oh, thank you. Okay, I did my job. I'm like,
Yeah, because you know when you sit down on a seat for a long time and then like you get up and someone has a cat, they just immediately take that
Yeah.
curled up.
And
That's
that's
what Godzilla looked like. Like,
Chicken Colossal-
it's like
I think he said it best. You're just like, I love how the Italian government was just like, Godzilla's in the Colosseum. Can you guys get him out? He's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Tell him to move?
yeah, you gonna tell him to move? You want
can't
to wake him up? Like,
You tell him then.
Yeah.
why don't you go set a bomb off on him and just see what he does? You obviously someone didn't see Tokyo.
Where's the Vatican at this point, dude?
It's gone.
It's
Godzilla's a new god. Yes. Only God would sleep in the Coliseum.
This makes
It's
so
like
much
Dune. Like,
That's why I leave. He's their protector, dude.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
It took its time though.
It did take its time. It did feel
took its
longer than
time
what it
so
was.
much.
The
Nick took a nap.
Yeah.
I took like a 5-minute
You
nap.
took a 10-minute nap. We let you sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I took a 10-minute nap. But in all fairness, the problem. Okay, so here's the problem with really us showing the monsters for the longest time.
I think I heard you when Rene woke you up. You said like, "What did I miss?" I heard that part of the conversation because it was when they figured out that the water can open up the camouflage net, and I just hear you go like, "Wait, what did I miss?" Don't worry about it. It wasn't much. They just discovered something, and I was
because I fell asleep when they were still kind of like in the underground, like exploring, and then when I woke up, they were in this like ancient city, and I'm like, okay, what did I miss? How did they get to this ancient city?
You just missed basically like point A to point C, and you didn't really need to find out.
It was human. It was human subplot.
Yeah, it was just human subplot. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was. I thought the reason why I started not getting bored, but I started kind of nodding off was because the great part is there was a lot of monster.
There was.
The bad part is there's not a lot of dialogue.
No.
There's a lot of just like nodding, screeching. It's just sounds at a certain point.
Yeah.
And it kind of just turns into white noise after, an hour and a half of it. And you just kind of like, and nobody's really doing anything.
Yeah.
Like Kong isn't really fighting too much of anything. Godzilla's just sleeping. And the humans are just going like,
excuse me,
Where's-
Godzilla was training. He was in the hyperbolic time chamber, okay?
Oh my god.
no, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was in the
No.
iceberg when he was
when
he turned purple.
I want to
when
see
he went Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
What I wanted to see is Godzilla put Tiamat on like a hook, and he's just punching it over and over, just punching it all over again. But yeah, that's my only grief. And I feel like that's the problem though. It's a weird like kind of middle point that you can't really have, and unfortunately, I do think you do need a human with them
To explain
in a way
things.
to at least have their dialogue,
But
or
then
to
if
then
you add
say,
the human element to it, it becomes a weaker movie because no one cares about the human.
Exactly, it's like a weird balance that you
Yeah.
have to have, and I feel like the movie did a good job, but I do feel like there needs to be some kind of way of figuring out how can we make them communicate without communicating.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to next upgrade for Kong. I'm telling you right now,
Jetpack.
it's a collar. It's gonna be like a collar that like connects to his head,
So he's dug
and he
from
can
up.
talk. Yes, dude. Come on, you don't think he will?
Yeah.
And then like now we got a talking gorilla, and then he's like trying to talk to Godzilla. Godzilla, I get you. Stop. Hold up.
I want a Mecha Godzilla piloted by humans inside of it.
What was it piloted before? Wasn't it piloted by humans?
It was like they use King Ghidorah's brain.
At this point, with
Like
how
one of
this
his heads.
how this movie's like moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
halfway through this movie, I'm just like, when do we get a Megazord?
You know what? At a certain point, I am waiting for the Pacific Rim crossover. But I do think it would be interesting because they did kind of lead to what could be in the future.
Yeah.
Because they are saying that the government is trying to take over Monarch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's no longer going to be a private organization. The government is trying to take over Monarch.
Yeah.
And they are talking about dealing with Godzilla. Like right now, we kind of just cover for Godzilla and just let him do what his natural thing is. But governments have been wanting to deal with Godzilla.
They explain it in a way where it's like the government wants to take control of Monarch to get its assets, but then by doing that, they're essentially allowing businesses to kind of exploit the resources that the Titans are kind of putting out there.
Exactly.
Do you think they're gonna Final Wars it?
I-
Final Wars.
I think that what they're probably going to do is maybe not in the next one, but maybe in another one, they're going to slowly start taking out the Titans, like taking them off the map. And then, but that starts leading to kind of like an apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I see that if that's the case, they have to kill Mothra. You have to kill Mothra at that point because that's like the final slate to make Godzilla like go against them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's interesting because I have
Mothra's died a couple times.
a feeling that what's the company in Japan that owns Godzilla?
Toei.
Toei. They're from what I've heard is that they're very stingy with their licensing right now.
Yes.
And Legendary might not have the licensing for Godzilla in the near future.
It's fine. Make a Kong movie.
I was gonna say they focus on Kong. That's
I
fine,
think I'm
too.
done with that. I can't do a Kong movie.
Well,
You know what?
My boy, dude, I gotta rep my boy.
No, but I think if you go back to doing a Kong movie, but here's the problem though. You already have like Planet of the Apes coming out
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's really hard for me to go back because I can see in the next Kong movie, Kong teaching everybody sign language.
yeah.
And then now now it's going to be kind of like Planet of the Apes where they're all signing to each other. And then you kind of have that communication where there'll be subtitles where Kong is communicating with them. And it is kind of like, okay, cool. I'm building an empire. I am building my kingdom.
So I want to wrap up this conversation with one point that you brought up on the drive home yesterday, which was like, how's this movie compared to -1? And it's so interesting because
I still haven't seen that yet.
it's a good movie. It's a great, not a good movie. It's a great, great movie.
Hey, hold on. You give
Oscar.
it.
Sorry. No.
Oscar award winning.
I'm sorry.
Godzilla
I'm sorry, my king.
-1.
I'm sorry,
Not
my
a
king.
fan.
I'm sorry, my king.
You are not a
sorry.
fan.
I'm sorry. Oscar award winning Godzilla -1 is not comparable to the MonsterVerse movies. And the only reason why is because -1 does a great job at bringing back the ideas that made Godzilla who he was, which is the turmoil that Japan faced when it's in its involvement during World War II. It does that a lot. And that's the theme of -1. MonsterVerse Godzilla is all about the destruction, fun, and just monster on monster fights. That's the whole purpose of it. I feel like the original or the Gareth Edwards Godzilla try to bring some of those elements of storytelling into that movie. It worked to a point. It got a little bit overwhelming with it. And it didn't do such a great job. It's still a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion.
The Gareth Edwards one?
Yeah.
There wasn't enough Godzilla.
There wasn't enough Godzilla, but I mean, there's
not only that, but also like the worst parts about that, the best parts of that movie are always like
in the dark.
Yeah. Or it's always them running at each other and then it cuts to a human.
Yeah.
And you're like, so what happened?
But it's still really good. It still looks really good for its time for what Gareth Edwards was doing. It's a really good movie. Now, I want to just kind of put it this way. I feel like if people are arguing for -1 and saying that that's the true Godzilla and saying that anyone that watches this or these versions of Godzilla, they're not really understanding what the point of Godzilla is. You can
enjoy both.
You can enjoy both. And I think that's what makes film interesting.
Yeah.
Just have fun with both. That's all it is.
Yeah. You know, like there's the Mummy movies and then there's the other Mummy movie.
The one with Tom Cruise.
The one with Tom Cruise. And then, you know, we like the other Mummy movies. We don't like the Tom Cruise one.
Tom Cruise is fine. You know, movies can exist.
Not
together.
Tom Cruise can't sell everything.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like he can't save every movie he's in.
Yeah. No. Final thoughts on Godzilla Cross Kong New Empire?
I liked it a lot. Overall, I think I prefer, like I said, I think I prefer this one over the last two movies.
Can you rank the other movies?
No. I don't even know all of them. Look, you gotta look about how many are there? Like 7?
Skull Island. Godzilla.
Is Skull Island attached to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
that Kong. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
It's
Tom
the same
Hiddleston?
Kong?
It's the same Kong.
So it's Godzilla, Skull Island, King of Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong, and Godzilla Cross Kong.
So it's 5 movies.
Okay. Does Tom Hiddleston die at the end of that movie? I forget.
No, that movie takes place during like the 60s.
It is. It's right in the middle of Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah.
And basically that one's like a younger version of Kong. And then by the time we get to Kong versus Godzilla, we find out that Kong's still been alive, but they said in the movie, like, he's not even a full grown, you know, he's still super small in that timeline and stuff like that.
He's not full King Kong.
Yeah. I think for me, then it would be this one, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla versus Kong. Because I like King Kong. He's my favorite character. And then I like King of Monsters and then Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick?
I would definitely put King of Monsters and the last one out at the bottom. I didn't like the last two. The last two were kind of meh.
Godzilla versus Kong? Okay.
I thought it was meh. I mean, I like the idea of it. The idea of like, okay, we're gonna Godzilla's gone too far. Who do we get to battle Godzilla? Let's get King Kong.
Get the king.
The Titans. I mean, that was
Yeah.
your selling point. Though.
That was your selling point of the movie. The only problem is that then it got really convoluted, and then it kind of went all over the place. And then you have Mecha Godzilla coming because it's one of those things of like, well, they can't kill each other,
Yeah.
and they're both, and it has to end in a tie somehow. So
Godzilla won.
it's a tie.
He won.
No, it's a tie.
No, it's not gonna. Let's move on. Go on.
It's a tie.
He won.
And, but that's
your
what
final thoughts on New Empire.
I liked New Empire. I thought it was fun. I do think that they needed to take the John Peters route with it of we need to have action throughout the movie to keep it pushing.
Yeah.
To keep that kind of momentum going, because the momentum at a certain point drops off.
Yeah.
And that really does slow the movie down. And I feel like that's like just from a watching perspective, really does kind of go as a negative. Whereas if that movie really flew, if you had like action over here, okay, cool, we're dealing, like the humans are dealing with whatever else they can deal with. I mean, there were so many monsters inside of the underground. It's really surprising that they didn't run into any of them
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
to get to where they were going, and they were on foot.
Yeah.
Like no other monster was like, oh, they're little meat bags. We should eat those.
I think they didn't want to be Peter Jackson King Kong at that point.
Yeah.
But I get that, but also I need some kind of like entertainment. There needs to be some kind of action. There was the Godzilla fight with Tiamat. There was the fight with and then Kong just kind of like walks in and just starts punching people.
Yeah.
But again, they're not focused on the humans. They want to make sure you're watching the monsters for the monsters in this one. For me, I will say that this one's a fun experience. You don't really need to watch the previous ones to enjoy it, but I think that if you do watch the previous ones, it will help a lot.
At least maybe the last one. That's it.
Exactly. For me, the rankings would be King of Monsters at the top, Godzilla versus Kong, then probably Godzilla Cross Kong. And then just because I like more Godzilla than Skull Island. But Skull Island has a better story.
It does.
Yeah.
I do like Skull Island a lot. I do want them to make something kind of like Cloverfield in this Titan universe.
Monarch could have been it.
Monarch is an interesting show though. It is a really interesting
done?
show. I think they finished.
Okay, so that way I can probably
The season finished for Monarch, and it was an interesting show.
Yeah.
Leading up to like the discovery of Monarch and going there, but they do that was the reason why I was kind of questioning it though, because they don't mention Skull Island, and it takes place in like the 60s and 70s. It's just kind of like a new thing.
because I think Skull Island was kind of a mystery. They weren't really announcing it.
But they never mentioned it, and Tom Hiddleston's research is then used in other movies to like make Monarch.
Yeah.
So that's why they never really mention it. That's why I was like, oh, Skull Island technically is connected. I thought it was just another Kong movie.
I kind of have to watch them again to kind of put the pieces together. But yeah, it's all in the same universe. I think it'd be interesting to do a Cloverfield-esque, like a POV version of like a movie like that. CGI for that would be insane though.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had one of those found footage movies in a while. And I think you can, especially with technology nowadays, you can really do something really sick.
Yeah, you could. I can see that. Well, that brings us to the end of issue 192. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at Keeping Up With The Nerds. Don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Check out our YouTube at Keeping Up With The Nerds. And don't forget to follow our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. Guys, please keep a lookout for any news about the Santa Fe Springs Art Festival. We will be there and announcing the news shortly.
Yep.
We'll be shooting some advertisements to kind of let you guys know what we will be doing there and our guests that are going to be attending there. We've got a pretty awesome group of people at the festival, all friends of the show who have done nothing but support us. And we want to return the favor and support them and their work. So if you guys are fans of the show, are in the area for Santa Fe Springs, please come down and check it out. I think tickets are only going to be like $10 or something like that. Yeah, $10. And it's a great festival. There's going to be plenty of things to do.
I think it was $10 for both days, wasn't it?
$10 for one day, I think it is. It might be. I don't know what the preview night is. We'll get more information and announce it as soon as we do.
Mhm.
But please, if you guys support us, please support the friends of the show as well, and come on down. Let them know that you guys love them, you guys care for it, and we'll be announcing. So thanks pretty soon. Nick, are you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's tickle this pickle. All right, let's go.
All right.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 192. My name is Nick Vallejo,
Rene.
This is Bryan.
and we'll see you all next time.
Bye. You missed stuff.
Wait, didn't?
Sure did.